This is the Big O Show. 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 This
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that, the two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. I gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. Cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you're getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. you can rely on essential moving experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good afternoon, boys and girls. Ready to rock and roll. Coming to you live from beautiful Hialeah Park. Boy, the poker room, it is packed, baby. Packed. Folks are loading up. I think maybe they want to make some time for the draft tonight, so they're trying to get a couple games in before they got to go check out the draft. Even though, thanks, Stephen Ross, you cost our platform money this year, but you're a jerk. But what can we tell you? Just sign the checks, Pillsbury. Anyway, that's his new nickname, by the way. I was talking with a friend of mine today, and he gave me an idea. I like to give some of these athletes and local stars some nicknames, like, Tennekill and stuff like that. So Pillsbury is the new one for Stephen Ross. You know why? He's just a doughboy. That's all. Don't do anything else. Just dish out the dough and stay quiet. But anyway, great night last night. Dude, last night, all three games that I watched last night were fantastic. They had nothing to do with the Marlins, by the way. Because really, I don't know if you ended up taking some time to watch the Inter-Miami FC. Dude, that was a super exciting game all the way to the end. Every one of the three games went all the way to the end last night. Listen, I know some of you aren't soccer fans, so I get it. But those of us that are basketball, hockey, and soccer fans, okay, and I doubt most of you even watched Inter. I would say 99% of you that are watching did not even bother to turn it on. So last night, the basketball game was amazing. Jimmy Butler was, once again, phenomenal. And then the hockey game was just outstanding. They survived Kachuk with the game winner. Verhage, the assist to Duclair. Dude, that was just freaking awesome. Okay. Verhage he's one of those dudes, bro. Bennett, Verhage, and Kachuk. Those are the guys that are wired the right way. They're wired like Jimmy Butler. You know what I mean? And then last night, Jimmy Butler obviously capped off the evening with just a, glorious performance on his part that was just absolutely sick. I didn't watch at all the Marlins. I mean, I was just going crazy with the 3 games. And, the Marlins just don't it's sad, right? Because Sandy's pitching and it doesn't matter whatsoever. And nobody gives a shit whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of it kind of sucks for them, but that's kind of what they've created. That's the life that they've created for themselves, unfortunately. But last night, man, that Jimmy Butler performance was just absolutely glorious. And again, back to the nicknames. Okay, I think I nailed it with Bam again. Super role player. The super role player showed up last night. That was nice of him because he started slow again, terrible, and then in the second half, he did what he's supposed to do: an assist here, a block there, garbage points, because he's not a star. Stars don't have garbage offense. That's who he is. He's a garbage offense guy. He's a assist. He's a steals guy. He's a block guy. He's the super role player, brother. That is the perfect name for. He's not franchise. He's not a star, but he is a super role player. He's a definitely super. And yesterday, the super role player showed up, and that's what role players do. They don't show up every night. They just show up occasionally, and they help you out. And I got to give golf clap for Bam yesterday. Golf clap, okay? Resounding applause and standing ovation. That goes to Jimmy Butler. Okay, that goes to Jimmy Butler. But golf clap. Golf clap. Very nice. Very nice. Super role player showed up yesterday, which was really, really good on his part, man. So really entertaining. I mean, you were on the edge of your seat for the hockey game. You were on the edge of your seat for the basketball game. And you were on the edge of your seat if you gave a shit about, the Inter Miami FC game. I felt bad for Miami FC when it's all said and done, bro. But I mean, Inter even had an own goal.
Both of those goals were questionable for Miami FC because Calendar should have stopped that first one, too.
Yeah, he should have stopped.
That looked
cheesy,
routine. I mean, again,
cheesy.
I'm no soccer player, but that looked pretty...
Yeah, Borgelin had a really nice header. That was really nice. I mean, it was just God, I had a lot of fun last night, sitting there with the wife and the dogs watching all those games. I just had a blast, man. That was just so much fun. The Panthers to survive in Boston the way they did, that is awesome. And now they come back to FLA Live Arena and they got a shot to make it 3-3. Barkov, by the way, how about that, dude? Another assist. He's got 3 in 5 games. But he's doing all the little things.
He got a little physical last night. Yeah. The most hits he's had this season.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, maybe frustrations are setting in. Yo, brother, step it up. Like if I'm the front office, I'm going, Sam Bennett, that's my kind of guy. Yeah. Kachuk, that's my kind of guy. Verhage, that's my kind of guy. Barkov, no. I know you're gifted. I get it, but you don't have the edge, bro. You don't have the edge. 3 assists. So let me ask you something. If Barkov played like a franchise player, would it still be 3-2 Boston? No, of course not. Because if he played like the star that he supposedly is, it is what it is. What are you going to do? But anyway, oh, man, last night, just awesome. 128-126. Butler had 42 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. I mean, just absolutely magical. Absolutely magical. That was a lot of fun. In that series, and to eliminate the Bucks 4-1. That's crazy. None of us really thought. And Gabe Vincent last night hit some big shots. Didn't shoot a great percentage, 9 of 23, had 22 points. But I got to commend Gabe Vincent. I've talked about this a couple times the last couple weeks. For the last month, Gabe Vincent has shot very well. In fact, he's the one reliable shooter that they have over the last month. More than anybody else, Gabe Vincent's been the guy. And to his credit, last night he stepped up again. He has stepped up pretty much in every game towards the end of the regular season and the last couple of weeks of the regular season and in this series. That young man did his part to support Jimmy Butler. Okay? And then Eric Spoelstra, obviously, what can you say about him, dude?
And Ira kind of nailed it yesterday, too, during the RedRecover.com Inside the Paint. He asked, who needs to be number 2? And he said, really, I think it comes down to it needs to be a concerted collective effort from the 3-point shooters. He said 45 on the thing. I think they got 42. And then he said also then Jimmy needs to do Jimmy things. But if they can give them 45 points out from 3-point land, they've got a chance in this game. Okay. And it ended up working out. I mean, Jimmy had to be Jimmy, of course.
Of course, yeah. But they have no choice.
But that was the thing.
Jimmy has to be a star, bro. Okay, I got to give Gabe love. Hey, look, Kevin Love, bro. He's been useless.
Double last night.
15 and 10 yesterday. I mean, Cleveland gets eliminated by the Knicks. So he ends up going to the place that actually survives and moves on to the second round. And the Cavs are going home now after getting eliminated by the Knicks. And Kevin Love, really, that acquisition has been terrible up until last night. Yeah, at least we got something out of Kevin Love, man. So you got to, yeah. And then Bam, Love, and Lowry all foul out too. The process of that game. Let's not forget that. Haslam picks up an incredibly stupid technical foul. Okay.
See, I think that did though set a little bit of a tone.
Okay.
I think it set a tone for the team because at that point the team was not.
I get it. But
I mean, again, Jimmy was waiting, I think, till the third and fourth quarter, so he wasn't playing his, and then nobody was playing.
I know, but it didn't look good until the fourth quarter.
I'll tell you right now, I had to wake up and rewatch the comeback. By the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were down by 16. I'm you know what?
It was bad.
Dude,
it was bad.
It's almost midnight, 12:30. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm done.
But that was a bad move by Haslam.
You can't,
bro. No. You're not a player. Or you're not contributing. You can't cause problems to the deficit. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do that if you're Haslam. Come on, bro. You know better than that, and you can't do that. So think about that. Think about all the free throws they got. Think about all the guys fouling out. Haslam even giving them a freebie. Now, they did their part too, right? Because they did all kinds of stupid plays. Budenholzer didn't call timeouts. Grayson Allen hung on to the ball too long. And then Giannis, my God, dude.
Couldn't hit a free throw, right?
Couldn't hit a free throw, couldn't hit shots. Committed stupid. Wasn't he the guy that committed the 3-point the 3-point foul on one of our guys? Like it was like a deep three.
Yeah,
and they got fouled.
I think it was
Giannis.
It was on Vincent. Vincent threw up like a 45-footer.
And he only hit two of the three.
2 of the 3, yes.
And it was Giannis that freaking fouled him.
Yeah.
And the guy was 6 feet behind the 3-point line shooting it. Like, I saw that and I'm like, wow, dude, thank you. I appreciate you, Giannis. But wow, you were stupid last night. Holy crap. I mean, he did all kinds of crazy stuff. And I get it. He was pressing because his team needed it. But he couldn't come up with it. And that's the one thing that you still see it's a kryptonite in his game, isn't it? Right? He still can't shoot. He's never been a shooter. He may never be a shooter. This deep into his career, that's going to be you know what I said last night I put on Twitter? Giannis Antetokounmpo is the one superstar on the floor last night. But Jimmy Butler was the best basketball player on the floor last night. There's a difference. Listen to me. I'm not telling you Jimmy's a better talent than Giannis. I get it. Giannis is a superstar quality player, but Jimmy Butler is the more well-rounded player and the better basketball player last night because he was doing everything and anything. From shooting to defending to assisting to stealing, you name it, he was doing it all last night. And he was doing it all at an incredibly high level. So last night, the best basketball player on the floor was Jimmy Butler. And that's why the Miami Heat won. Because Giannis Antetokounmpo could not be the best basketball player on the court last night. He may be the better talent. I don't think anybody's ever going to argue that. The Lord gifted him with better talents than Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy Butler's set of cojones, right, are way bigger than Giannis's last night. And that's what really was the difference last night. That's kind of been the difference in the last couple of games where Jimmy Butler just placed him on the table and said, what's up with that? That's it. You know, it's what he did. And the rest is history. And Giannis is home for the holidays. We got Giannis. Let's play this soundbite. And I'm going to have a little fun with this soundbite. Giannis Antetokounmpo got a little touchy with one of the reporters last night when a reporter asked him if this season was a failure. He had a great answer. But there's, sometimes you can be right and wrong. And in this case, Giannis Antetokounmpo was right and wrong, and I'll explain. Go ahead, Sean. Fire away.
No, sorry that I didn't want to make it personal because you asked me the same question last year, and last year I was in the right mind space to answer the question back, but I remember it. Next.
Okay, all right. So there we go. And listen, it's impossible to ever pick on Giannis because he's such a great guy. You can tell he's just a decent human being, and he means well, and his heart is in the right place. And I think we all admire what Giannis stands for, right? Because he kind of stands for all the right things in sports and in life overall. He's just a good dude, good family guy, good teammate, works hard, all of those things. And to a certain extent, he's right. There isn't failure when you're working every year and you're trying to accomplish something, right? Let's say in 2023, Sean and I, we get more downloads than we got last year or just slightly less downloads than we did last year. Is it a failure? No, not really. But we would like to be more successful, overall. And the problem with Giannis's point is I get what he's saying, that in sports, every year only one team's going to come away ultimately happy. So here's the example I would give Giannis. When the Heat got to the NBA Finals in the bubble and lost to the Lakers, is that a failure? Not at all. Do you know why? Nobody picked the Miami Heat to get to the bubble. To get to the finals in the bubble that year. Everybody thought Miami was just kind of lucky to slide into the playoffs, right? And there they go. They climb and they get all the way to the finals. And then they get two guys injured and they end up losing it. But does it become a failure? No, it doesn't. But if you're the number one seed in the NBA playoffs and you're playing against the number 8 seed, it's a failure. It's a failure. Now, if he fails and loses in the Eastern Conference Finals, is it a failure for the Bucks? No, it's not. No, it's not. And let's say in the second round they lose to the Boston Celtics, a really good team. Would it be a failure? No. But last night was a failure because you got dogged by the 8th seed 4-1. So there has to be a part of you that has to sense failure. You have to accept it as defeat because that's really the only way you will then be able to attack it and overcome it. You can't use excuses and dodge the obvious, right? The Miami Dolphins have not had success
in the NFL lately because they've been failures constantly. And now Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel are fixing that issue. It looks to me like they're headed in the right direction. But for 20 years, I would call it an abject failure of a franchise. So there is failure in anything and everything in life, period. It all depends on what level of success you're having. Then you can go bypass it and say it's not failure. But when you are expected to do a lot, like Alexander Barkov, you are a failure. If you're paid to be a franchise type player and you're Bam Adebayo, you sir are a failure. If you're Tyler Hero and you got a nearly max contract and you can never be relied on because you never stay healthy, then you are a failure. If you do not live up to the expectations that you have either put on yourself, have brought on to yourself, or others have put on to you because of who you are, then you are a failure. And guess what? Success is fed off of failure. I have said that for years and years and years. That's my slogan. That's a slogan that I live by because we all fail. We all will get fired. We all fall off the bike. We all don't know how to write in the beginning, and then we learn how to write. We start businesses and we fail starting businesses, and then maybe it's a second or third business that you start and you finally get it going and you figure it out. Life is all about failure. Some people marry the wrong person the first time around. They didn't know themselves well. They didn't know the other person well enough, and then they got married, and then they figured out, I want something else out of life. I want my partner. I want something else out of my partner. And then you figured it out, and then maybe in the second marriage you were successful. Failure is, the problem we have with the word failure is we treat it like a disease that is unacceptable and that it can't be a part of our lives. And if it is, oh my God, the shame behind it. No, that's part of the learning process. And that's why the idea is you embrace failure. That's what you're supposed to do. That way you overcome it. But you don't hide from it. You don't downplay it. And that's what he's doing. He's downplaying it. And he can't. He has to come out and say, and he has to look in the mirror and say, this is a failed season, bro. We had the best record in the NBA. And we went down in the first round. Unacceptable. My play in the fourth quarter, unacceptable. Grayson Allen's decisions, unacceptable. Budenholzer's coaching, unacceptable. It has to be looked at as a failure. That's how you overcome all these things. That's how you have success. So Michael Jordan gets cut from his JV team. Yeah, maybe basketball's not for me. I'm out of here. He goes on to become a car salesman or a scientist, and we never find out about Michael Jordan. That's not the way it goes, man. That's not the way it goes. And I'm sure when he failed to make the JV team, it pissed him off even more. He embraced it, attacked it, and became the greatest player of all time. So the greatest player of all time was told, you're not good enough to do this. And he said, what? Failure must be accepted in every way, shape, and form. You must be honest with yourself when things don't go well, whether it's your fault or somebody else's fault or whatever, but you got to come to the grips of it. And then you got to figure out, okay, so what do I do next time to make sure it doesn't happen? So he was right to a certain extent. You can't call everything a failure, but in his case, and where they were at, it's a failed season. EJD Construction, baby. We love talking about EJD Construction. And Eric, great people right now. Getting calls from some of you out there. You're having some water damage from the storms here the last couple of weeks. I know our friends in Broward County are struggling. If you're in Dade or Broward right now and you're dealing with some issues, or maybe unfortunately you had, like one of our listeners had a fire and they called EJD Construction to remediate the entire house. That is gutting it all out and redoing it inside. They were able to do that. We had a listener that ended up building an observation deck at the top and the third floor of their home. You know, all kinds of things. We've had listeners that have also now built extensions to their house. Man, listen, full contractor. And when we talk about Eric and EJD Construction, I'm going to give you his personal cell number, 305-433-4843. They are fully insured, liability and workers' comp. So anyone and everyone that steps onto your property is protected and insured, and they will never sue you if they get injured on your property. Be careful with who you hire, okay? What's very important is, even if you don't want to hire EJD Construction, you hire somebody else, please make sure they're fully insured and that they prove it to you, because any of their workers get injured on your property, they can sue you. Okay? So make sure you hire the right companies like EJD Construction that are fully insured, protecting you, the client. 305-433-4843. You want to add a second floor, you want to add an addition, you want to modernize the kitchen, whatever it is you want to do, custom home construction and major home remodeling, ejdconstruction.com, and go to their Instagram page. Check out a lot of their work and they will impress you. Call Eric, 305-433-4843. All right. Bam Adebayo. Got to give Bam some credit, bro. Okay, look, while nothing's changed in my eyes with Bam, terrific young man, way too nice of a guy, and that's why he doesn't have an edge to him. But last night, he really shined in his role. Okay, and this is why I call him a super role player. I think that is the perfect nickname for him, because last night proved that's exactly what he is. He's not a frontline player. You don't run your offense through him. He's not the guy that's going to be aggressive enough to really carry you on offense. He's very passive, and he's more about garbage offense than he is about really his own offense, and he can't shoot the three on a consistent basis. And in this league, it's hard to even be a star if you can't shoot the three on a consistent basis. How Jimmy Butler does it, he's one of the few. Although he does find a way to hit it sometimes in the clutch. I'll give him credit there. But I got to give Bam some love yesterday, because he did step up. He is what he is. He's not a franchise player. Nobody will ever convince me that he's a franchise player. As I've said over and over, this is something that Jimmy can do and he can't. Jimmy will impose his offensive will on you. He will dunk it on you. He will drive. He will take the hits. He will score. He will go to the line. He'll hit his occasional, three-pointer. He finds a way to get it done whether you like it or not, because he can impose his will on you. And he's really the only offensive player that does that. Everybody else is kind of a rhythm player feeding off. In Bam's case, he's more of a garbage player than anything else. He can hit that medium range jumper on a consistent basis at times. I think he should have more confidence in that shot. The other night, a couple of nights in this series, he struggled with that shot. And it's just kind of weird for him. But I think that's kind of his thing. When it isn't going well, it hurts his confidence a little bit. And this is why he's not a star. Okay? But last night, he gave Jimmy Butler, especially in the second half, because he was terrible in the first half, but he gave Jimmy Butler the support he needed yesterday. He was the super role player he needed. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 2 steals. I mean, that's triple doubles nasty for anybody, but I got to give Bam a little credit there. I still don't think he's a star. I don't think he ever will be a star. I don't think he'll ever be a franchise player. I think in a contending team with real stars, he's probably your number 3 or number 4 option, because he's playing off of everybody else. He's facilitating for everybody else. He's setting picks for everybody else. because he's a super role player, but he's not a franchise guy. But yesterday, lots of love for Bam Adebayo. He deserves it. Big time. Sunday, 1 o'clock is the game. Heat and Knicks. Knicks are favored, by the way, for 4.5 points. Over and unders 206. Miami is plus 160 on the money line. The Knicks are minus 190 on the money line. Miami was 1-3 versus the Knicks last year, or this year. And by the way, they played a lot of it in March. They went 1-2 in March. February 2nd, they lost 106 to 104, so only by 2 points. March 3rd, a month later, they lost 122 to 120, again by just 2 points. Then March 22nd, they won by 7, 127 to 120. And then March 29th, they lost 102 to 92 by 9 points. So it's been 2 really close games and 2 games where Miami pulled away a little bit, and so did the Knicks. So we'll see. It's not really that big of a difference in this series. Miami has a shot. The way, look, most of us didn't think that they would beat the Bucks. I mean, the homer guys, that are never going to pick against the Heat because, they have no objectivity. They're always going to pick the Heat. But I think most of us with some common sense, we didn't really like this matchup, for Miami. And Boston would be the other one that I would be very fearful of for the Miami Heat. The Knicks, I do not fear. This is a series that they can win. It's not as daunting as I see the Bucks were. And look, obviously the Giannis injury opened up the door for that series, and Miami was able to take advantage with the Giannis injury. But having said that, you still won 2 games against Giannis here to close it out. That was pretty good. It's pretty damn good. You gotta give the Heat a lot of love for that one, man. You got to give them a lot of love. So we'll see what happens. I would take the Heat plus 4.5 for Sunday. I would, because I think it's going to be a really close game, or Miami wins, one of the two. But if Miami loses, I think they'll lose within the 4.5 points, or they win. So I think it's a really, really tight game. Like a couple of these games have been 2-point games, or Miami wins. One of the two. But I don't think Miami gets routed by 5 points or more. I would actually take the plus 4.5 in that one. Let's see. Karen Joseph says, welcome to the Big O Show. Let's get Cook. Well, I get it. It's not going to happen, okay, unless Minnesota releases him and he wants to sign for very little money. But I don't believe it's going to be a trade tonight at all for Dalvin Cook, but whatever. Randall injured Heat in 5. Good morning, everyone. Manny also wants to get Cook. Stetton O is in. Manny Arias in. Brian Walters. Thank you, sir. Let's see. What else do we have? I forgot to mention something. Aaron Rodgers is 5-11 versus Vic Fangio's defenses. I didn't know that. Listen, as I told a buddy of mine, he asked me, are you worried about Aaron Rodgers? I said, do you have X and Jalen Ramsey and Javon Holland? He said, yeah. And I said, not concerned. That's all. Not concerned. What else do we have? I'm so glad. Robert Lund says, Big was wrong on Panthers and Heat, although I don't think the Panthers have enough to pull out the next 2. Barkov just isn't doing enough. He's dominating, bro. He's doing all the little things. That's what they'll tell you. He's doing all the little things. Because that's what they pay him all that money for, to be a franchise player, to do all the little things. Yeah, Kachuk is a stud. Sam Roke is in. Wonder what Big O has to say now about the Heat. Finals, here we come. Sam, why don't you come down here and bring $1,000? Let's bet $1,000 they don't get to the finals. Come on, Sam. Let's see what kind of a tough guy you are. Come on, Sam. Where are we tomorrow? Acura? So, Sam, if you can't make it to Hialeah Park today by 6 o'clock, with $1,000. Tomorrow, I'm at Acura Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard. Okay, I'll be there 10 to 1. Bring $1,000. Since you like to run your mouth, Sam Roke. You want to hear what Big O has to say? Bring $1,000. Okay? Bring $1,000. Let's bet $1,000 that they don't get to the finals. Let's see how tough you are. Okay? I'm tough. I'm here every day, bro. Right or wrong. But you guys, you run and hide. You throw rocks. So Sam Roke, $1,000, bro. Bring it. I don't want $5 or $10 or $100. Bring $1,000 here to Hialeah Park by 6 o'clock, or 10 to 1 tomorrow. Or you can bring it at 9:30 before I'm on. Okay. Well, I don't pull up at 9:30, do I? I pull up like around 9:45, 9:50. So 9:45, 9:50 till 1 o'clock. Okay. I'll be at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. You got them in the finals. I still don't think they'll get to the finals. I love what I saw last night. It's amazing. But I know what happened last night because obviously the Giannis injury opened up the door. But you're this brave that they can get to the finals, bring $1,000. Okay, Sam? If I don't see any money today or tomorrow, I don't want to hear any more tough guy texts on the chat board anymore. Okay? You wanted to hear what I had to say. Now let's see if you can step up. Bring it. Bring it. Let's go. Lenny Pena's in. Kyle Cockrell is in. I think it was Kyle. You couldn't get Jasmine at 57, right? I think it was Kyle, right? Wasn't it Kyle? Kyle, I want to say it was you that you kept telling me you were waiting for Jasmine to get to 57. Maybe I'm wrong, but one of you was saying it. And I've been thinking about you for like 24 hours. I think it's Kyle, right? See, he says ING is doing awesome, almost up to 10. So it is him because he's in injective protocol. But, because it's funny because Jasmine right now, because he was waiting for Jasmine, and it was hanging around the 60, 59 mark, and it dabbled a little bit in 58, but he wanted to wait to 57, right? So he waited, it never happened. Do you know where Jasmine is now? It's at 66. Kyle, you should have gotten at a 58 or 59. You would have been fine either way because it's up. Jasmine's up almost 9%, and it's at 66. So good. Listen, we're all winning, right? All of us that are in the Jasmine, we're all in the green. We're all in the green. Because when I told you guys about Jasmine, it was under 66. I think it was in the 50s, I want to say. Hell, I got it all the way in the 40s. I got it at 44. I loaded up at 40 all the way up to 50, 52, 54, something like that. And then I stopped. I haven't bought in a while because it's been up too much. And truth be told, Kyle, I was kind of waiting for it to dip a little bit more so I can buy a little bit more. So I'm just as guilty as you are. But I was thinking about you the whole time. If that was you, I think so, because you're bragging about engine. So injective protocol. So if you're with me on injective protocol, then I'm pretty sure it was you. Yeah, INJ has been doing awesome from the get-go. We haven't even hit the bull market yet. And when we talked about injective protocol in, November, it was like $1.40. It's like $9 now. We've 9 times it already. And we haven't even hit the bull market yet. When we talked about Alethea liquid intelligence token, in August, it was under a penny, and it got to 9. So we 9 times it now. So, just what we haven't even started the bull run yet. And as you've noticed, I've told you, Jasmine moves with Bitcoin. So as you see Bitcoin move, you'll start to see Jasmine move too. Now, there'll be a decoupling at one point, but we're not there yet because it hasn't caught on enough yet. You know what I'm saying? But the partnerships of Jasmine are just absolutely blowing up. AEW, by the way, did I get it right or wrong? Jade. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Rick D-Man is in. Ray Sosa in.
I forgot to tell you we had the Square Circle Digest.
I know. I saw it.
You saw it? Okay.
Okay. I saw you and Frankie and all that. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was just Frankie. I didn't go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
It's Frankie. He got those seats and he put up the Squared Circle Digest sign on TV.
Oh, so it was all Frankie.
Yeah, all Frankie.
Okay.
All Frankie.
Nice. That is awesome. That is awesome. Good job, Frankie, man. Rosendo is in, says, good afternoon, Big O Nation. May the good Lord keep you safe today and the happy Thursday. As part of the Heat Panther Nation, we should be proud of the efforts of our boys given every night. Yep. Except for Barkov. Barkov gets a big shit sandwich from me. Okay. Jesse Vogel is in the house. Rick D-Man, thank you for the love on the super chat. Says all I can say is Jimmy, and Kachuk. Kachuk getting that leg goal, bro. He's so awesome. Kachuk has got, it's like his dad. It's just, they got dog in them, bro. It's just one of those things. And the apple did not fall away from the tree at all. He's just like the old man. And his brother's the same way, too. They play with that fire, man. Bamboozle, thank you for the love on the super chat. Says, good afternoon, Big O. Fins up. Too bad we don't have a pick today, man. What a shame. What a shame.
Two Extreme said it was Strus that got fouled, not Vincent. So it was Max Strus.
Oh, it was Strus.
So
okay, right,
me,
okay.
Guess, yeah.
Kyle Cockrell, by the way, says, yeah, it was me, but I ended up buying it at 59. There you go, bro. Nice job. Nice. It's going to go up anyway. You know, I've got a couple buddies of mine that I kept telling them about Bitcoin, right? I've been telling them for like 2 years. And then when they went down to 16,000, they were laughing at me. And I go, well, I'm laughing at you because I'm going to load up now. And then, you know, it's going to go. And so now they see the banks are failing. They see all the crap that's going on, right? They're like, hey, man, what do you think about this Bitcoin? And I go, dude, I told you when it was at 16,500 and 17,019. Yes, you can buy now. And to me, there's never going to be a bad time to get in, because when Bitcoin's at 150,000, does it really matter if you bought it at 27 or 17? Yeah, you might make a little more profit, obviously, but you're still making a hell of a lot of profit. Okay? So there's never going to be a bad time to get it. And as for like Jasmine, the same thing. At this point, it's under a penny. Okay, so you're getting it at 59th of a penny. What's the difference if you get it at 57, 59, or 66? Once it gets over multiple pennies, it doesn't matter, bro. You're making sick profit. And that's all that matters. You know what I mean? That's what we're in the game for, to make some money out of it. So you did the right thing. And with the tokenomics and the business partners that Jasmine has and what they're building, I just think sky's the limit. Verhage, I like that guy. How can you not, bro? Verhage, Bennett, and Kachuk they're those dudes. You got to have those kind of, although I like the Lundell kid too. I like him also. And that little fiery guy too is also the guy that was in a fight huh? Who? Not Gudis. No, the other guy that's small. Gudis is a badass. The other guy that's kind of he's getting in fights and he really shouldn't be getting in fights. He's not a big guy. I'm forgetting his name now. Huh? Connors? No, it's not Connors. Damn it, why am I brain fart? Lomberg. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Lomberg. That's it. That dude is like my he's like my Yorkie. Fearless, bro. Fearless. Holy crap. Let's beat the New York Bucks. We're tougher. Big O, saw that Dolphins have called to trade info. One, I think it's smoke screens to pressure the Vikings. I think it's all media driven, bro. I don't think the Dolphins give a shit. They're like, hey, we'll get Dalvin Cook. When you release him, we'll sign him for $3-4 million and fine. But they're not trading for Dalvin Cook. They're not paying a high salary for Dalvin Cook. They're not trading picks for Dalvin Cook, any high picks or anything like that. Nothing. They'll get Dalvin Cook at their price if he's available. And if he's not, I don't think they're making it, and they're not trading up for the Alabama running back. That's never been their style. I just don't think that's I could be wrong. I've been wrong many, many times over. I'm not afraid to fail, bro. Okay. I've been wrong many times over, but from my understanding and the way I see things and the way they do things, they don't pay for running backs. They don't trade high picks for running backs, and they have no interest. And by the way, Dalvin Cook wants a new contract. So he wants money. They're not going to do that here. I don't see them with that. But I get it. It's homerism. You guys can't be objective. You love the Dolphins so much that you're just convinced that they need a running back, and you can't deal with the fact that the running backs you have, they may not be the sexiest names in the world, but they were incredibly productive at 4.5 yards a carry, and they weren't the problem. But Dalvin Cook is from Miami. So we run into the same bullshit all the time with some of you out there. And by the way, this happens wholeheartedly 95% of the time. It comes from Miami fan-based Miami Dolphin fans, because the group of Dolphin fans that are in South Florida are the least objective fans of the Dolphin fan base that exist. The Dolphin fans that live outside of South Florida, they don't fall in love with Miami players that come from Miami from other teams, and they don't have this love affair like they have to have them. That only comes from the real hometown Miami Dolphin fans. I almost feel like the out-of-town Miami Dolphins fans are a little bit more objective than the ones in town, because the ones in town, they have no objectivity whatsoever. They think every player that comes out of South Florida has to be the greatest thing. That's why I had a bunch of you idiots thinking that, Bridgewater was going to take Tua's job. By the way, there's over 300 people on the chat board right now. Anybody want to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm one of those idiots that thought Bridgewater was better than Tua? I doubt you'll do that, right? Because, you don't want to admit it, right? But I know there's a bunch of you out of the 312. And usually you're guilty because you live here in South Florida. And it's just, I don't know what the disease is. I don't know what the disorder is. I don't know what the virus is. I don't know what it is that you people are infiltrated with, but you've got zero objectivity. And the level of homerism that you guys bring is a joke. So hopefully I'm clear enough on that with you guys. So we'll see. Anyway. So Tampa here and don't need Cook. Our running backs are great. It's the line that's got to get great. Not the backs. The backs average 4.5 yards per carry behind a so-so line. What needs to improve is the offensive line. That's what makes your running game. That's what makes everything go round. That's what's going to keep your quarterback upright. That's how he's going to find receivers downfield, is with an offensive line. And that's how you keep that defense honest. When you're knocking them on their ass, when you're knocking them on their heels, when you can shove the ball down their throats, when you can use play action and manipulate the field and manipulate the coverages. That's what you've got to do. It doesn't come from the backs. It comes from the offensive line. What do you got?
So on Twitter, there's somebody posting, and it says, Dalvin Cook spotted in Miami. Hashtag NFL draft. I look at the board right behind him because he's at a rental car place.
Right.
You know what it says?
What?
Hurts Boston.
Idiot Miami fans, bro. Hurts Boston. Wow, that's awesome.
But there's Dolphin fans there like, yes, he's in Miami.
Right, he's in Miami. Yeah.
And he may be. This picture's probably not.
By the way, half the world visits Miami. You know how many people just live here and hang out here?
You know this is like a cool place. I'm not sure if you guys know that out there. Isais, thank you, sir, for a little Bitcoin donation on Cash App. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, my brother. Always love a little Bitcoin donation. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show at Cash App or Venmo. Thank you, Isais. Very kind of you, man. You know the Bitcoin donations are the ones that get me super, super excited. John Gabe, thank you for a little love on Venmo. Says, after all these Heat years, I can't help but feel like the front office has failed Jimmy and themselves more specifically by putting too much stock into Hero and Bam. I'm feeling like Jimmy should have won one, if not multiple championships at this point. Yes, sir. John, you are 1,000% right. And I've said from the get-go when they traded for Jimmy that if you don't get a star within the first couple of years, this will be a bad trade. And, it's awesome to see what he does for us every single night, but it kills me to think that he has no help out there to really get it over the top. So, Anthony Lizzie, thank you for the love also on Venmo. Big O, I don't hate the idea of Hooker if he dropped to 51, but you know what the media narrative would be if they're trying to replace Tua because of his retirement consideration, even though we know he never considered it. Just don't want to hear the national media more BS. That's true. That's true. But one of the things, so those of you, if you weren't listening yesterday, I don't, not that it's going to happen, but if Hendon Hooker fell to 51, I would draft him in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I would get him healthy, showcase him, and then trade him for multiple picks. So, and I'd be getting first rounders in return for him. Okay? Yes, sir.
Do you think Tyreek knows something we don't know, or do you think
he's just screwing around? I saw the tweet. So, who we picking tonight? I got inside info. He's just having fun with people. He's just having fun. Sam, I'm waiting for you. You got an hour. You got 2 hours and 8 minutes, or tomorrow by 1. Better see that cash. Tough guy. True Fin Fan 78. Preach. Don't forget the Skyler over Tua bums. Yeah, another one. Right. Yeah, but at least he's not from Miami. If Skyler was from Miami, oh my God, they would have said it was. He's Dan Marino. Skyler not only is going to beat Tua, he's going to shatter all of Marino's records. Even the 48 touchdown season has no chance of becoming because Skyler's going to crush it. He went to FIU, FAU, UM, Florida, Central Florida, FSU. He's a Miami kid. That's what would have happened. Nyborg says Ross lost the Dolphins a number 1 pick and number 3, by the way. Now, let's not forget that there's no third also. Let's see. He should be made to walk through the draft in KC with someone ringing a bell behind him yelling shame. Yeah. The Doughboy, Pillsbury. From now on, we'll call Ross Pillsbury. Okay, let's just call him Pillsbury. That'll be the nickname for him on this show now is Pillsbury because he's the Doughboy. Nothing else. That's all he's good for is the Doughboy. He looks like a really nice man, but I don't want him anywhere near football decisions. He's a real estate mogul. Go do your thing, bro. Just write the checks and get out of the way. Let Tom Garfinkel do the business and let Chris Greer do the football business. Outside of that, you just sit back, bro. Let those two gentlemen do their thing. You stay in a corner and produce the dough, Pillsbury. Dougie Fresh says, my source dates the woman who manages the Hertz rental car at the Boston airport. She said Cook rented a Honda CRV. She asked, where's he going? And he whispered to her, Miami. True story. Frankie says Skyler looks like an FAU grad. So he's an owl. Okay.
Mr. Bonafide says, hearing Jimmy talk about seeing his daughter to take her to the park and ice cream was an awesome moment last night. Jimmy bailed out, and the number one thing on his mind was his family. Yeah, he does love his daughter, man. Big O, rip. R.I.P. Dick Groat. Great short shop in the past, and to Jerry Springer. Oh, that was his real name, Dick Groat? Oh, shortstop. Oh, shortstop. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. God, I don't know. When did Dick Groat play? I don't even remember. God, I don't even remember. Is he like a really old timer or something? Because I don't even remember the guy from the 70s, 80s, or 90s or something. Stephen Ross looks more like Snoopy. Yeah, I know, but he's the doughboy. So we got to go with Pillsbury. So he died at 92? Oh, yeah. So he's an old time player. So, yeah. That's probably why I don't know. I don't remember. The 1960s? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's probably why. You know, I'm a 70s child. So, 60s is more about his history. And then, yeah, I know my history, but I guess, although I got to say, it feels like I've heard that name before. So, whatever. But rest in peace, Dick Groat, and obviously rest in peace, Jerry Springer, who passed away at 79. Let's see, what else? Watch during the preseason, some local Dolphin fans will get excited over Mike White completing a couple passes and will want him to start over Tua since he's from Pembroke Pines. Yeah, stupidity like that will take over. What'd the guy do? Ask you to use my charger?
Yeah, he was just going to charge you. Yeah, just stay in charge. No problem.
Yeah, just grab my charger. Watch me grab your neck. Oh, man. Anyway, every year the Dolphins pick someone no one sees coming. Who's it going to be this year? Milton, I have. Alvin Cook. No, they're gonna trade for D-Hop. They're gonna add another receiver. Remember, like last year, they trade for Cedric. Then Tyreek becomes available. They trade for Tyreek. No, they sign Cedric. They trade for Tyreek, and then people still think they're going to go after Deebo Samuel. It's the same thing. It's like, some of you Dolphin fans, it's impossible to win with you. You come up with some really stupid shit. Huh? What happened?
No, Pat McAfee said one source saying that something is going to happen with D-Hop today. It could be Chiefs, Bills, or Ravens.
Yeah.
Then there's Ravens reporter just said, I got good news for Ravens fans. I'm guessing maybe D-Hop. Because I was thinking it was Lamar Jackson. Maybe they finally figured that whole mess out.
Right.
But now I'm thinking it might be.
Could be D-Hop.
D-Hop. I mean, what else is there to celebrate? If
that would make sense. That would make sense. Okay. Maybe that's what it is. Get me those receivers, and I don't have to take a full guaranteed deal.
Maybe. It's just one of those days because it's draft day, so it's like trying to shift through everything.
Jamison Hemsley? Who's the Baltimore reporter?
I lost that one now. Sorry, it refreshed.
Okay.
I have to find out.
I know Hemsley is a pretty good reporter.
But there's so much going on right now, so I'm trying to figure out what the shift is and what's not.
Okay. Karen says if Dalvin went to Hurts, it symbolizes Jalen Hurts, who went to Alabama with Tua. Hence, Cook is symbolizing that he's coming to the Fins. LOL. There you go. Karen figured it all out right there. That was strong. That was strong how you put 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 together. And it equaled 4. Okay, I got it. Sam got Big O putting his money where his mouth is. That's right. $1,000, Sam. Let's go. You're so confident that they can make the NBA Finals? It is Jamison Hemsley. He's credible. He's credible. I've had Jamison on my show many times. Very credible reporter. Does a very good job. Super V says, Big O, how many times do you think the draft media will mention that Stephen Ross cost the Dolphins? I don't think they'll mention it at all, on maybe once on the night, because we're not a storyline. So unless the Dolphins trade what is it? The 27th pick it would have been, right? Or something like that. 26th pick or something. Yeah, something like that. So at that point, that's when they'll mention this is supposed to be the Dolphins pick, but it was suspended. The pick was taken away from Stephen Ross and yada yada and all that. I don't think it'll be a big storyline. We're not important to what's going on tonight right now. There's no picks, and there's no reason to mention the Dolphins really until that one pick comes and goes. Outside of that, now there's a better chance of them taking shots at Tua throughout the draft. That's probably better. Frankie says, I told you, Big O, Man City was going to win and beat Arsenal. That's all right, bro. Listen, Frankie, as an Arsenal fan, this season was just magical, and I'm not going to complain about this season. The crap that I've been through for years now, an Arsenal fan would sound unappreciative if they kind of downplayed what happened this season, or they weren't happy with this season, or they wanted more. Of course you want more, but losing to Man City is not the end of the world, bro. Great year for Arsenal. I love what I've seen from them this year. So I'm good. Bill says, do you think Miami is focused on going heavier than usual on UDFs? They definitely have done well there in the past. Yes, they're going to go in that direction. They only have 4 picks, my brother. And for those of you that don't, undrafted free agents is what he means by, okay? And they do great. That's why you bring it up, Bill, because they're exceptional at that. So hopefully they'll find another guy or two undrafted that will help out. That's why camp is always fun now with the Dolphins, because now you start looking at the entire roster, because who's the next Nick Needham? Who's the next Trill Williams? Who's the next Kader Kohu? Who's the next Zach Sealer? All these kind of guys that come under the radar. Oh, they picked this guy up off the waiver wire. They got this guy off of the street, Brandon Shell. They got, and then they find people. Yes, sir.
Question for you. I'm going to read a headline. You tell me which social media outlet it's from.
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins need to keep Tua Tagovailoa healthy. He has admitted to considering retirement due to concussions. Does Miami have enough picks to do it?
What am I picking? What social media site?
Yeah, what do you think the site is?
Pro Football Talk.
Yeah, it's Pro Football Network.
Well, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Beasley led that one there. Is that what it is?
Hold on. Let me see who actually wrote the article. I didn't click on it because I didn't want to clickbait. Brett Yaris is the writer on it there, but
okay.
Yeah, so
yeah, same bullshit that always goes on. All right, let's go. Hour number 2. ESPN's own Marcel Louis-Jacques joins us next with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins report with Marcel Louis-Jacques is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Marcel Louis-Jacques. How you feeling, baby?
Great draft day. This has become less and less of a work day for me over the past, we'll call it 4 years or so. I've been with ESPN. This is my 5th season. I've covered one first round pick. They keep trading. They don't want me on the mock draft, man. They don't want me on the show.
So you're basically saying we need to kick your ass out of town and get you off this beat so we can have more first round picks.
Basically where I go, I am where first round picks go to die.
Now we know the problem, Dolphin Nation. There we go.
It's no coincidence.
We need to move Marcel to the Saskatchewan Roughriders beat.
Hey, but what I will say, the one time I've ever actually predicted a first round pick, I've ever actually, been asked to opine on it, I nailed it. I said the Bills were taking Greg Rousseau at 30th overall, which is hard to do. It's picks 1 through 5, 1 through 10, a little easier.
Yeah.
Picking the 30th pick,
that's tough.
That was tough.
Right.
So I'm just saying, I might not get y'all a first round pick, but I'm gonna get it right when they have one.
Oh, you're right. That's a good
the precedent.
I nailed the 3rd rounder one year.
Yeah, the odds are astronomical at that point.
Yeah. That was
one of your math wizards has to actually
do the
math there.
Bullshit. It's just luck.
Yeah, it's just I know.
I
will learn.
Like going to the gas station and hitting and give me a quick pick and you win. That's all it is, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss on that dartboard every single time. Then once in a while you're gonna hit it. Whoa, I did it, and that's it.
Hey, I will learn more about these guys after they're drafted than I will, in the pre-draft process. Other than that, I killed myself over, learning this guy and this option and that and this and that. And when I was with the Panthers, and they didn't draft a single one of those guys, hundreds.
Well, let's talk about smoke screens and BS. I think Dalvin Cook is a complete smoke screen and a BS. I don't think they have any interest in trading for him. I don't think they have any interest in paying any kind of high money for him. Now, if Dalvin Cook gets cut and he wants to take less money, like $3-4 million, then I think Chris Greer could think about something like that. But I am trying to tell Dolphin Nation, who I think you're learning this now, whenever there's a player available that happens to also be from South Florida, there's this love affair that becomes just intoxicating and just, I don't know. It's like Pookie working the pipe a little too much there in New Jack City. That's kind of what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? And so you got a taste of it last year. Oh, Teddy Bridgewater's going to take Tua's job because he's a Miami guy. Oh, Mike White. Oh, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He'll be better than Tua. So you'll get that drug. And
who is saying
getting
that?
there with Dalvin. So where are you with this whole Dalvin crap?
I don't know who is saying Mike White over Tua.
I've gotten it, bro.
That's a stretch.
I know.
Same deal though. I don't think.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. They said Skyler over Tua last year. Not a Miami guy. It doesn't go with it. But you and I got that. Okay. So go ahead.
There. This is how I see it. Trading for Dalvin is a bit of a smokescreen because we will know for a fact that he is on the market if the Vikings take a running back. You know, the presumption is they take a running back, and that then Miami is supposed to aggressively target him. They take a running back, that means they're going to cut him. Right. They're going to cut him. There's no point in trade. Like, you just have to, you know where he wants to go if you're Miami. Like, if you're trading for him, then it's only to beat out the Dolphins, because in free agency, I think he would want Miami. It makes for a pretty crowded running back room, but I think he would want Miami. Other than that, it does not make sense to trade for him.
Marcel, if he wants money in a multi-year deal, is he going to get that here? Because I try to tell Dolphin fans that these dudes like low-hanging fruit for their running backs. They don't pay for running backs. So I'm not sure. If Dalvin wants to play in Miami, that's fine, but he's going to have to play for a lot less.
Like, the only running back I am trading assets for is Derrick Henry. Like, and I don't think he's available. Right. But the only running back I am trading for, I am parting ways with things on my team, players, picks, whatever, is Derrick Henry. Because Derrick Henry is still an elite level talent who I believe has years and years in front of him. He has significant injury history, or has had a significant injury in his history, I should say. But he's still 6'3", 240 pounds and moves like a gazelle. He's fine. He's fine. That would be, could you imagine that level of offense? Like, what are you going to do? You going to stack the box against Derrick Henry? Or, stack the box against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle?
Yeah.
Or are you going to go light box against Derrick Henry? Like, that would be, if there's a way to get that done, get it done yesterday.
Yeah, the only problem is I don't think they have the ammunition to do it unless they go into their picks for next year. I don't think what they have this year is enough to trade for Derrick Henry, unfortunately.
I don't either. Like, this is one of those where we get so much downtime. There's so much downtime between the end of the season and the combine and the draft, that like your mind starts to motor up a bit, and you're like, all right, well, I got to do this, and we should do that, and we should do this. And the best course of action, stay pat. You got 4 picks. Greer has shown in the past an unwillingness, a hesitancy to deal future picks. We saw, like, notably with Tyreek, he didn't want to deal future first round picks, and especially having gone 2 years without one, I don't think it's not like they're going to get rid of another first rounder for Derrick Henry. I think it's overpaying anyway, but that's not like that. It's not like they're going to do that. So I think, like, the best course of action, you got your 4 picks. If anything, if you want to move up a little bit or maybe move back a little bit to stockpile this year, go ahead. But I just don't foresee any aggressive move for either another player or an aggressive move to get into the back of the first round. I don't, not saying that it won't happen. I don't personally see it happening.
Here's the other thing. Have you watched Greer's run in the second round? What the hell's the need to go to the first? The guy finds freaking studs in the second all the time. So
there's a decent amount of talent, a lot of talent in the second and third round here. Just so happens you got second, third round pick. Best course of action is to let the man do his job.
Holland. I mean, are you kidding me, dude? Over the last couple of years, you have picked all kinds. And I know the Gesicki thing kind of didn't work out because of the scheme, but to me, that wasn't a bad pick. That's a very good player that if he lands in a system that they throw him the ball, he's going to.
The Gesicki thing, the Gesicki pick worked.
It worked.
That pick worked.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But just,
50 catches a year for 3 years.
Right.
That was a hit.
Right.
That was a hit.
That's what I'm saying. Rob Hunt is a hit. Holland is a hit. X is a hit. I mean, come on, dude. If anything, that's one of his strong suits, actually. He's really good in the second round. So I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow at 51. This whole thing about trading for Jahmyr Gibbs, again, this is, brother, have you watched these guys? They don't do this. They don't trade a bunch of picks and you would have, by the way, it would take your entire draft and something from next year to move into the first round from 51. Am I wrong here?
If we go to the draft value chart, then yes. It'll take at least your second and third and maybe a mid round next year for a late first and a late round pick either this year or
a
next
running
year.
back. You see Chris Greer doing that for a running back.
It's just that's not in his character, no.
Of course not.
It's not in his character. Are you keeping up with this? These reports are starting to flood in a bit.
Jackson, yeah.
Lamar
Jackson. Well, Jamison Hemsley first put it out that, and you know Hemsley. He does an excellent job covering the Ravens, and he says, "Hey, I'm going to have good news for Ravens fans." And now Jay Glazer has also now followed up and said that they're very, it's very close. So it looks like something's gonna happen finally. I'm wondering. I was telling Sean this. I'm wondering if Lamar was like, "Well, okay, I want a fully guaranteed contract, but if you get me some weapons, some real weapons, then maybe I'll take this as guaranteed." So I'm wondering now that they got him the receiver, maybe they'll get another one here in the draft tonight.
They're gonna have to get another one.
Yeah, maybe that's what's bringing Lamar to the table now. That maybe it wasn't so much about the guaranteed money. Maybe, like last year he wanted to prove to people and he tried to stay in the pocket more. Maybe he's like, "Hey man, get me the weapons like they got Jalen Hurts, and I'll show you I can do the same thing." And maybe that's kind of what his thing is.
Kind of thinking like maybe also the market just wasn't wasn't there. Maybe these teams weren't messing around. They weren't BSing.
Why would you give a running quarterback a guaranteed deal? That's stupid.
I would have if I was the Jets, I would have traded for Lamar Jackson already. I would have traded for Lamar Jackson.
I got Sean freaking out on me here. Hold on. What do we got? Sean? What do you got?
I'm looking at and this is not on the subject you're talking about.
Okay.
But with the Jets, when they traded for Aaron Rodgers,
right?
They restructured his deal. So next year they only owe him $1 million.
No, this year they owe him $1 million. Next year they owe him
$107.5 million.
Yeah.
Obviously they're gonna.
We're done, right?
They're gonna restructure that. Like that's not a. It's not a real. But still, that's so much work to do.
Marcel, but let's break it down for people so we can tell them what they're going to do now. What's going to happen is that the next year they will then, if he's probably going to retire after the second season, unless this season is catastrophic. And then what they'll do is they'll break that down over several years. And then it'll be a hit against the cap for the next. I don't know how many. See, that's the only thing. That's the only part that I have to call ignorance here. How far out can they put the bonus? Because they're allowing teams to do that now. So even if he leaves the team next year or in 2 years, he'll be on the books for several years. How many years after somebody's gone can they break it down into the cap? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't think it's a Bobby Bonilla type rule.
No, not
where
that
you can
far
pay him
out.
for 20 years out. Yeah. But
I know that there's a few years you can do it.
Yeah, but all I can say is, without having studied what the Jets' actual cap situation looks like, all I can say for sure is they're not paying $107 million to one player next year. They're not paying. They'll break it down and push it back. Rodgers has already said that. This Lamar stuff. I think this might come before the draft, man.
Here it goes. The Jets can also add a void year to lower the cap charges. That's what I was talking about. If New York merely acquires his option bonus, Rodgers' cap hit in 24 would be 71.26, according to ESPN. So there you go. So yeah, like I told you, that they can start to break it down, but I don't know how many years after that, and they could break it down for a couple of years and lower that number. But yeah, listen, they had to do the trade; they had no choice. because their window is now with that team. So
yeah, I personally would have got Lamar. I think they got hosed a bit on this trade, on this trade when you thought you had all the leverage. Trading, he's going to play 65% of the snaps. So trading 2 first-round picks for a 39-year-old quarterback, I don't care how generational of a talent he was and how good of a quarterback he might still be. That's 2 first-round picks for a guy who's got maybe a year, maybe 2 of high-level play left.
You better win.
You better freaking win. And the pick swap, I was on board until I saw the pick. The pick swap was like the lamest thing I don't understand. I just don't understand it. That was like the Jets. That's like Joe Douglas was like, well, I want to say that you gave us something too.
Well, it's just a swap to move up. That's all it is. It's not much of a,
It's not.
All right, so
that was funny.
By the end of the night, is Dalvin Cook or Jahmyr Gibbs on the Miami Dolphins?
No. Okay. No. Too many teams who have actual capital to get Jahmyr Gibbs are interested in Jahmyr Gibbs. That dream is done. He's not dropping to 51. End of story. He's not dropping to 50. He might not even be available tomorrow. He might go tonight. And then Dalvin Cook. I'm not ruling Dalvin Cook out as a future Dolphin.
If they release him, that's when they have a shot.
But if they release him, I don't see them trading for him, and that trade's definitely not going to happen tonight because, it's not like the Vikings are about to take a running back in the first round and then get rid of Dalvin. So it's just we got a lot of.
They have Madison. It's not like they're desperate for a running back. They can get a running back.
Like it's not by them drafting running back. They're not saying this guy is our back of the future. They are saying is we are investing capital into our new timeshare. They're going to have Madison as RB1. It's done.
Right.
Jackson, Lamar's done.
Right. All right. So what's your?
I told you that was going to happen tonight, man.
Yeah. What's your gut tell you on 51?
I wish that we had this show tomorrow. I'll bring
you on tomorrow night, so don't worry about it.
I got a lot to do. I actually have to work tomorrow, but it's so hard to predict these things without knowing remotely what the board is going to look like.
I know.
I have no idea. I'm not afraid to say it
because I want to wait for this first round to be done, and then I'll have a better feel the next day. So tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll know all the players that are gone, and now I can have a better conversation about what's going to happen. And then, then tomorrow we're actually going to do a draft show tomorrow because I'm not doing one tonight to talk for 4 hours for no freaking reason at all. So tomorrow, as the picks go off the board. Then the puzzle starts to unravel for me, and I can now figure things out. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for. I'm like you, man. We gotta see what happens today. How many linemen go? How much does that affect the second round? How many linemen don't go that then get pushed in to the second? How many tight ends, if any, go? And how many will go in the first round? Will Washington go in the first round? Is he available at the beginning of that second round? All of these things that we just don't know what the hell is going to happen. Hell, Jahmyr Gibbs, even if you think he's going to go late first, shocker, he's available now early second. It happens, dude. I don't know.
You never know. Like I said, the run on tight ends could be over-exaggerated, and damn near all of them might be available. All the top guys might be available midway through the second round. We have no idea. Maybe I'm not saying they're going to get receivers, but you never know. Like who's drafting now? Like maybe somebody falls in love with Jalen Hyatt. I don't know, and they want to move up to 51 and they draft. You never know what is going to happen. So it's impossible to come up with scenarios right now because again, I don't have the math, but there are, I'm sure, literally billion different scenarios of how boards can fall based on who picks what and what goes where and who trade. My advice, do what I do. Enjoy the moment. The moment. It's a fun night to predict futures, to learn about new players, to do it's an informational and it's an educational experience. Just enjoy the night. Don't look too far into it. We still got rookie camp. We still got OTAs. We got mini camp. And we got training camp. And then we got the preseason before we actually start, seeing how things are structuring, seeing how things are materializing. There's so much time left before real football actually matters. Just enjoy everything one step at a time. It's a great night. A lot of guys' lives changing tonight. You love to see it.
Let's see. What do we got here? The Ravens.
That's what I'm saying.
the
Rappaport
eight
said
ball?
it's done.
Oh,
Rappaport
okay.
said it's done. Schefter's saying they're still
Done?
working through language.
Okay.
But
So it's done. Okay.
It's
All right.
basically done. And I think it beats Hurts.
By the way, somebody's asking, is Marcel a wrestling fan?
Nah, I played the video games back in the day, but I did not. I am not, no.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? If Miami is really all in for the next 2 years, it makes total sense to bring Dalvin Cook or Derrick Henry in. Well, the Derrick Henry one, he wants a new contract and you got to give up compensation. I don't think the Dolphins can actually afford to do that because they've got a whole bunch of money that they're going to have to spend over the next couple of years. And a Derrick Henry contract would be kind of crippling for them. Remember, Jalen Phillips is coming up. Jalen Waddle is coming up. You've got to pay Wilkins and Sealer. You've got to pay Javon Holland. There's a lot of freaking money that you've got to pay in the next 2 years. You just can't give away a Derrick Henry contract. Am I wrong here?
And look, and going all in, it worked for the Rams. It worked for the Rams. How many other teams does that work for? Does that strategy work for?
Only one. I don't remember.
And then you are you mentally prepared to go all in? It fails, and then you are what the Rams are now.
Right.
A shell. I've talked to Rams reporters who don't know, who don't know half the guys on that team. Like they are scraping the barrel there. It's not going to be pretty for a little bit. Baker Mayfield had to come off the street and play on Thursday Night Football. Then it was an awesome game. But like that's the kind of desperate you're getting. Just they're cautiously all in. Like their feet are in the water, their legs are in the water. They got upper chest and up dry. Everything else is in the water. I wouldn't say that the cannonball is there quite yet. Otherwise, like you said, they would probably part ways with significant assets to get Derrick Henry.
They got their title, so that's the good thing for the Rams. It was well worth it.
It worked for the
Derrick Henry thing that's a tough situation. I don't even know who trades for him at this point because you're in a rebuild, and that's what kind of puts you in a tough situation if you're Tennessee for that guy. All right, what do you got going on?
I'm curious because they really want a quarterback. They are done with.
It's weird, huh, Malik?
Wow. They're done with. I mean, we knew they're done with Malik. You could kind of tell. Like Malik's not it. There was no flash of brilliance there. You can't even surpass 100 passing yards, man.
Yeah, no,
Skylar Thompson did that off the bat, did that cold in the 7th round. So when you don't have it, you don't have it. So I'm curious, do they part ways with Derrick Henry and a pick in order to get up to number 2? In order to get up to number 3, Arizona is shopping that number 3 pick.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. All right, we'll see. Going on ESPN so folks can check you out, my friend.
ESPN's got you covered every step of the way. You check out our draft tab under the NFL, parent site of our website. We've got analysis, we got predictions, we got big boards, we got mock drafts. Myself and my colleagues, we're going to react and tell you how each pick fits each team's. If you want everything in one place, I don't know if there's many better places to go than ESPN on draft night. I'm keeping an iPad up the entire night, both nights, strictly for the ESPN app and for the draft cast. It's a marvel every year. I'm excited to see how it looks this year. We seem to outdo ourselves every single season. So I'm kicking my feet up, man. I'm gonna do some cleaning around here, have a nice calm environment, maybe get a candle, light some sage. A lot of zen here tonight because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of action in South Florida other than the young men whose lives are changing tonight, like I said before.
All right, good stuff as always. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. And don't forget, folks, for those of you that are dealing right now with some issues because of weather over the last couple of weeks and you're dealing with these insurance companies and they're bringing you down, please call my friends at Welt and Rayom. They're in Hollywood. They service all of South Florida. They've got an office in the Keys. Even one of our listeners up in Orlando came down and hired Welt and Rayom. So really, you can do it all with a phone call, 954-966-4646. If you're dealing, sadly, with bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, homeowner property damage like we had, they crushed Progressive and got the money we needed in order to fix our home. They can do the same thing for you. 954-966-4646. Call Welton Rayom and tell them that Big O sent you. Marcel, have a great weekend. We will catch up next week, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. 5 years for Lamar.
There you go. Nice job. All right, we'll get the numbers eventually. Thank you, sir. There you go. Marcel Louis Jacques.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with Marcel Louis-Jacques. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Right. Call Jeff and Dan, man. Good people. They will definitely take care of you, man. You're going to love them. Great people. Ass kickers. So there we go. Do we have any particulars on that contract yet? Just 5 years. Okay.
And then there was some that were reporting that basically Baltimore waited to see what Jalen Hurts got and then just trumped that deal.
That's what it is?
That's what the saying is. But, I mean, all we've seen so far is 5 years. That's all officially we've seen. But the reports were saying they kind of waited to see what Hurts got, and then basically they've trumped that.
Okay. All right. There you go. Bromar says, why isn't Big O doing the draft tonight? Why should I, Bromar? You know, there's no first-round pick. There's nothing to talk about. I'm not sitting here to talk for 4 hours about nothing. So if there's anything that goes on today, I will do a cut-in. We will do a quick live hit, and we will recap whatever it is that went on. If they traded or if they actually got into the first round, which I know they're not doing, this will be a boring night for us here in Dolphin Nation. There will be no Dalvin Cook, and there's not going to be no Jahmyr Gibbs or none of that crap that you guys are throwing out there. So, but if that by some miracle that does happen, then we'll cut in and we'll do it. But meanwhile, I am not going to talk for 4 hours after I've done 3 here for no reason at all. We'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow they have 2 picks, and we'll be on until the 84th pick in the draft, and then we're off. And we're done. So there you go. When Miami has to pick, he's ready? Poop's there? All right, let's go. Alan Poopart's ready to go. Yes, sir, with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins reports.
Dolphins fans, time to get insight on your favorite team with your favorite reporter with an Expos hat. Sports Illustrated's Alan Poopart in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Brother, thank you. Thank you. What do you think about these gifts here, Sean? Is this what you got at the? They were giving stuff out. Okay. No, I got this. Huh? I got this. Okay. All right. I like it. Sorry, they brought us some gifts here.
Gifts take precedence.
Yes. See how cool that is, huh? Squared Circle Digest shirt. I got it. Oh, get off my notes. And I got a black one. Yeah, baby. We need you made these?
No, I got them ordered.
Wow. Okay. We need to start making them and selling them on the site is what we need to do.
You guys enjoyed them?
So we need to do. All right. The great Alan Poopart. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely. Frankie, you are awesome, bro. Thank you. Great job, dude. Appreciate you with the wrestling stuff, man. Making it better. Thank you. Anyway, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Alan Poopart. How you doing, baby? You feeling good?
Yes, sir. I think I'd feel better if the Dolphins had a first-round pick, make tonight a little bit more interesting, but such is life in the big city.
Dude, they're trading up for Jahmyr Gibbs. Didn't you hear?
Or Dalvin Cook. That's right. I forgot.
Didn't you hear about that? They're trading up for Jahmyr Gibbs. Come on. You know Chris Greer really well. He trades up for running backs all the time.
All the time.
He pays for running backs all the time. He trades picks for running backs he does this all the time. So you're expecting Jahmyr Gibbs or Dalvin Cook to be traded to the Dolphins today also, right?
For a first-round pick, yes. Hashtag sarcasm. No, it's like I think I wrote this yesterday or whatever on alldolphins.com. It's like, if they didn't take Jonathan Taylor or one of the 6 running backs they could have had at their disposal in 2020.
That's a great one.
I mean, seriously.
Dude, that is awesome. That's a fantastic point.
Yeah.
I just go by habitual.
Correct.
This is who you are. You tell me all the time. You go cheap at running back. You're more worried about the offensive line than you are the running back.
Correct.
You will draft linemen like crazy, but running backs, oh bro, they're 7th rounders or that. You know how I've said this. You know how Dalvin Cook ends up here? He gets cut from the Vikings and he takes a $3-4 million deal here. Correct. But if he wants $8-10 million and a multi-year deal, he's not playing in Miami, dude. That's it.
Completely agree. By the way, you know what other team also doesn't necessarily believe in spending high draft capital on
the New England Patriots.
No, I'll give you another team on running backs, and rather they're very big on building their lines, offense and defense. And oh, by the way, they've been very, very successful and just went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, Philadelphia.
Yeah,
that's right.
The Eagles pound the offensive line and the defensive line every year, and you watch tonight, they're going to pick either Skoronski from Northwestern or Jalen Carter if he slides to 10. That's what they do.
Right. It's what they do because that's where you win.
Correct.
That's where you win. The line makes it, it's the weirdest thing. Like 4.5 yards a carry wasn't good enough for you on a line that was all right. Can you imagine if you actually improve the line? Like Mostert and Jeff Wilson will be even better. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why the running backs are such a problem when they weren't a problem.
Because they're not sexy.
Right.
Yeah. It's shiny toy syndrome. Dalvin Cook's the shiny toy. Jahmyr Gibbs, who every draft analyst compares to Alvin Kamara, is sexy. Bijan Robinson is, supposedly maybe the best prospect in the entire draft. So he's sexy. Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson, while highly efficient in 2022, are not sexy.
No, that's an excellent point. That's exactly what's going on. Are we expecting anything with said possibly in days 2 or 3?
If anything happens with said, it's day 3. It's not day 2 because they're not getting anywhere near a late round pick. My guess it's going to be you get a 6 for Wilson and a 7 or something like that. If a team has not been able, which needs a receiver, hasn't been able to get anything in the draft. That's how I could see it happening. And I don't think you're going to see it happen until Saturday.
Okay. What's your gut telling you right now at 51? I know I'm being completely unfair because the first round hasn't happened. So I'm putting you in a really difficult position. Because you'll have a better feel after you see the first 31 guys taken, and then you'll know. But your thoughts right now, what are you feeling for the Dolphins at 51?
Here's what I'm feeling. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to say they trade down for 2/3.
So they have 3/3. Okay.
Correct.
All right. That's interesting. You think after some of the analysis you've done, you think there's not a lot of drop off between the 2nd and 3rd round players? Is that kind of at 51 of the 2nd round into the 3rd round? Because obviously, if you're at 33, that's pretty good. It's probably better. but you're feeling the 51 player is kind of the same thing you're getting at 65 and 75.
It's not, but the level isn't such. The difference isn't such that you're not better off with. Let's say they're 2 7.3 players instead of 1 7.8 player. Well, I think the Dolphins need to build up like a supply of young players on cheap contracts to counteract all those high-priced guys they have.
It's actually a very good point. That is very true, because that's how you got to balance it out. Because fortunate for them, unlike past years, they're actually hitting on more picks, which means you're going to have to pay more people, which means, as you know, they're not going to be able to pay all those people. Because I was just having this conversation with Marcel, like the people that won Derrick Henry. It's like, bro, you can't acquire Derrick Henry. One, you have to give up a bunch of picks. Two, he wants a big ass contract after that, and you've got to pay Sealer and Wilkins and Waddle and Phillips and Holland, and you got a bunch of salaries coming up in the next 2 years, dude, that you're going to fork over a lot of money. Tua also, these are things you're going to give up in the next 2 to 3 years. You cannot give up a Derrick Henry contract at this point in time.
And that's on top of the players you mentioned. That's on top of those who already carry big cap numbers next year.
Exactly.
Like Ron Armstead, Bradley Chubb, Tyreek Hill. They have like 8 players who take up like 160 million or something.
Rob Hunt, bro, you got to pay.
No, I mentioned Robert Hunt. Yeah, while you were listing the players, Robert Hunt. Yeah. He's a keeper. I don't know if they're going to keep every one of those. To me, Robert Hunt is an absolute keeper.
Oh, for sure. Please, bro. You don't hit on a lot of picks at the offensive line lately. You hit on that one, you better keep. And he's a good dude too. On top of all, he's the kind of guy you definitely want in your locker room, bro. Plays hard and keeps it loose. That's a nice little combo to have. A guy that plays hard and keeps it loose. That's I think very, very important overall. All right. Are we hearing anything on the Wilkins or Sealer front, or is that something that's going to happen? Or it looks like, are you convinced that it's going to be more after June, after the Byron Jones deal?
Yeah, and I'm like, whereas I once was, it's an absolute slam dunk that thing gets done before training camp. Now I'm halfway thinking, is it possible that maybe they kind of wait and see how the guys fit into their scheme? And mind you, it's not just those two guys. Raekwon Davis is coming up as well, and Agba's contract is such that if he doesn't have a big year, they might go away.
I think he's gone next year. I think he's gone.
So they're going to have a lot of decisions to make on the defensive line, and I don't think it's as automatic as extension Sealer, extension Wilkins. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm saying, and especially depending on what Wilkins' contract demands are, it's possible. Because here's the other thing with Wilkins. If they don't agree on terms this year, and the Dolphins are like, you're not being reasonable in your demands, they still have the option of slapping him with a franchise tag next year.
Right. They're in control, so that's a good one. Yeah, and Sealer, you'll give him a contract, but it's not going to command that kind of money, so that one will be a lot more manageable at that point in time. We got some numbers here. Lamar Jackson's 5-year deal makes him the highest paid NFL player, right over Hurts. He got a 5-year, $255 million deal. We don't know how much is guaranteed yet. All right. Yeah, it's hard to get the guarantees unless the team gives it to you, because Lamar's not giving it to you. So, because he's the agent.
And it's not fully guaranteed. That we can pretty much agree on.
Oh, I'm sure it's not fully guaranteed, but the apparently, is it more guaranteed than what Jalen Hurts got?
I don't know, but the 255 is exactly the same. That's the same, right. The same contract that's on the surface Hurts got.
What do you got?
Yeah, they're saying the Jackson deal will be more money than what
guaranteed.
But the first 2 years look to be structured to where they can make the trade for DeAndre Hopkins.
In other words, the number's lower in the first 2 years of it.
Yeah, that's what's being, again, thrown around. I don't know how much is what, but that's what's being thrown around.
That better work, because they're going to be in cap hell after that if it doesn't work.
Like the AFC wasn't already
work, but whatever. That's just me.
The AFC wasn't already enough of a bitch as it was. Jesus, man.
Yeah, I don't believe in the kid as a passer, so it doesn't matter to me. To me, you can get all the receivers you want. He's not accurate, and so we'll see. Time will answer all when it's all said and done. What'd you think of the Aaron Rodgers deal?
Yeah, go Packers! They did well for themselves, and yet they didn't do as well as they would have done had they traded him to Denver last offseason, when Denver was jonesing for him as much, if not more. and they got one crappy season out of Rodgers, partly because seems to me half of him had already checked out, and then number two, he had the thumb injury.
Yeah. I'm still wondering how this whole battle with the New York media is going to go. Because when he has those bad days, man, you're not dealing with a bunch of people that just desperately need you to survive, like in Wisconsin, when there's only a couple of people there. You know what I mean? This is New York, bro. They don't give a shit. And so, I saw it was all rosy in the press conference, but I'm like, yeah, wait till you have a bad game, and then we'll see how this whole thing gets received.
But Rodgers is above it all, and he's going to find a way to slap back at everybody, even if he's not playing well. I think I'm not buying that storyline in the least, to be honest with you.
You think he'll be able to handle it with no problem, or you think he can just kind of sidestep it?
Yes, he can sidestep. He's smart enough to where if they're pushing hard, they're getting on his case and all that, he's just going to be like, okay, I'm not. Yeah, if he doesn't succeed with the Jets next season, it's not going to be because the media is getting to him.
Okay. All right. What do you got going on Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out, my friends?
Well, we already have 5 stories up today.
Is that it?
That's it. Well, we may have some more.
Blacker.
Things happen. Before the draft starts, we're going to, republish everything or repimp everything.
You already have your Jahmyr Gibbs or Dalvin Cook stories written, right?
They're already written. It's just a matter of hitting post once the deal is made. The Wilkins extension story is already written as well, ready to go. Whole bunch of them. I had to trash the Dolphins trading for Lamar Jackson because they're not.
Yeah, what happened with that? I thought he was coming here, bro.
So I had to.
I thought they were trading Tua to Baltimore. I thought that's what was happening.
Yeah, I had to command K that one. So we had an interesting one. I don't know if you saw the little viral video that's circulating with Taylor Lewan. I think it was Barstool offices where he's running into this mega fan who had a Dan Marino jersey on and was all depressed about everything. And Taylor Lewan basically told him, "If it'll make, dude, Dolphins have called me."
Right? Yeah. Yeah. But you know what I said? Was it yesterday or the day before? Because that whole Cameron Fleming thing, and it's basically the Dolphins are telling you we're going to get another lineman, but we've already checked with all the guys that are available. If we get the guy we like in the draft, we don't call these guys. But if we don't get the guy we like in the draft, then the Brandon Shells or the Cameron Flemings or somebody's going, or Taylor Lewan or somebody's going to be an option. Clearly, they have kicked the tires on all of them, and they're waiting for the draft to decide on which one they're going to get now. That's it.
Yeah, it's doing your due diligence, and it makes perfect sense that they're bringing Cameron Fleming. Check him out. And it's interesting because my perception of Cameron Fleming was like, and then I checked with somebody in Denver, and
they like him.
Who covers the team? He told me actually the guy was very much under the radar, pretty good last year, and he can play both sides.
Yeah. They like him over there. He actually did a decent job. It's not a name that made me, like, oh, real sexy, but you got to trust them. They got to know more about linemen than hey, listen, man, what did we think about Brandon Shell? We're like, oh, just a guy, whatever. And the guy ended up doing a really good job overall. And I'm actually shocked he's not here again. I really am. I thought he did a good enough job to bring him back. That was so odd.
I'm guessing it's coming down to dollars, or he's looking for a situation where he's got a clearer path to a starting job than here.
Probably.
That would be my guess.
Probably. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Poopart NFL and catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. AllDolphins.com. You got to bookmark it. That officially makes you a Dolphins fan. All right. And don't be depressed if Dalvin Cook doesn't end up here.
Yeah, we're preparing you for that possibility. There's a very, very good possibility he's not coming here.
Exactly. All right, Poopart. Hey, by the way, we didn't catch you earlier in the week, so we'll catch you tomorrow night after the draft. Get a little recap from you. All right?
If we can make the timing work, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll make it work. We're flexible. We'll make it work one way or another. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow night, my man. You be good.
Right back at you.
You got it. There you go. Alan Poopart, baby, with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins reports.
You've been listening to the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poopart. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDConstruction.com is your custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
All right. Let's see. Miami has some big contracts coming off the books. At the same time, they need to sign guys like Water. Yeah, no, they got to sign a lot of guys, Eric. A lot of guys. So Fleming would be the best option as a backup left tackle for Armstead. Yeah, he could probably play both, left and right. I completely agree about the line. If our line improves, it automatically improves the running game and the passing game both. Yep. That's really what it would be all about. But I'm telling you, they're going to sign a lineman if they don't draft one. They must like a couple of guys that are out there, and they're just waiting for the draft. So Big O, has Jimmy surpassed Wade as the greatest Heat playoff? No, not even close. He doesn't have any championships. Wade has a championship, bro. What he did in 2006 could never be topped. Jimmy's awesome. The sad part for Jimmy is he doesn't have any help, man. That's really the bad part for Jimmy. What you got?
Josina Anderson, reporting from a league source.
Jesus Christ.
Lamar contract, 5-year deal, $260 total. Still no guarantees, but it's $260 total is what is
I
coming
can
out
believe
right
she
now.
has a relationship maybe with Lamar. That could be. She might have gotten the total number.
Yeah. So, but nothing on the guarantees.
No, I know it's kind of questionable when it comes to Josina. She had that story that they were still looking to replace.
All they keep saying was that the
horrible story,
the Hurts deal, and then when Burrows got picked up at the 5th-year option,
right?
Those kind of led the Ravens to the deal that they made.
I got you. I love Play Action 7 says Joe Shad. What is it? Well, there it goes. Vince, what happened to Joe Shad? Well, you must be much of a fan. You're asking months later. Now's when you miss him. Let's see. I completely agree about the line. Yes. Don't disrespect Wade with. Yeah, Wade is the number one clutch player in South Florida history. Period. He's got all the titles. So, Cap for Life says, heard Wade and his family moved out of Florida. D Wade will always be king. Yeah, he moved out of Florida because of the child. And because they've got a transgender child, and obviously this is not a very friendly transgender state. So they felt that their child would not be accepted here. And so they left Florida because of that. There's a story out there. You can see it in the Miami Herald. I retweeted it, and it's very understandable. So, no way Jimmy is great, but Wade is the GOAT. No, Jimmy is great. He's playing great. There's no doubt about it. But Wade is Wade, bro. Nothing takes away from Wade. It's the problem with some of you is you become prisoners of the moment. And that's where, it's just Wade is at another level, bro. Wade is a freaking superstar. But my problem with Jimmy is that Riley failed him. That's my problem with Jimmy. You traded for Jimmy, and you failed to get another star next to him. And then you allowed Jimmy to talk you into Kyle Lowry. And I don't know how you can allow him to do. That's where I really, I have to be really critical of Pat Riley in that sense. Because Pat Riley forgot more about basketball 40 years ago than I'll ever know. Yet my dumbass knew that you don't pay Kyle Lowry $90 million. So that's not good. That's not good. And where Riley thought that was a good idea, I don't know how much drugs or alcohol he had in his system at that moment. Okay? I don't know what it was. I don't know if he was deprived of sleep. I don't know what happened to Riley at that moment, but that part kind of, that's my problem with it. And I said, and this is not hindsight. I said this from the day they traded him. I said, this deal doesn't mean anything unless you get another star next to him. And we've been entertained, and that's all you're going to get is entertainment. You're not going to get any hardware out of it. And he has played like a guy that should win a championship, but he can't win a championship if he doesn't have the pieces around him. And why doesn't he have the pieces around him? Because the Arisons have cut corner, and because Riley and company in the front office have made horrible decisions. And they're lucky that Eric Spoelstra bails their ass out constantly. Okay? That's the real deal. So hopefully, Riley gets his stuff straightened out and starts making better decisions. Because now I don't know if Jimmy has enough life left in him to go out and get that star to put you over the top, because you're asking another year. And it ain't going to happen next year because you still have Lowry on the books. So when are you going to get that star? 2 years from now? Where is Jimmy going to be physically at that time? He can't play a whole season as it is anymore. It's not going to look good. So they moved out of Florida because Hollywood. D. Wade is trying to get into movies and stuff out of Cali. Bromar, you're wrong. Moved out because of his kid. He said it. Okay? So let's stay away from misinformation. Don't be a clown, in other words. It's Wade, and then you can argue Jimmy and LeBron. And basketball. Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't believe Bam will step up. Man, Bam, you can't really count on him. Once in a while, he'll step up. The Dolphins are going to take the Heat approach and spend low on a running back. Well, they don't have to spend big on a running back. They don't need it. They need to spend on the offensive line. They need to better the offensive line. That's what needs to get done. Tonight, Celtics and Hawks. Celtics are favored by 7. Over and under is 232. Celtics are favored in the money line minus 280. Hawks are plus 235. Friday, it'll be Bruins and Panthers. Great win by the Panthers last night against Boston. They trail 3-2. Amazing stuff. They've won twice in Boston. How crazy is that, dude? That just doesn't make any sense. I mean, really. Verhaeghe, 3 assists. The assist to Duclair yesterday was just awesome. Kachuk, obviously, with the game-winning goal. So we'll see what happens at 7:30 tomorrow night, and hopefully the Panthers can even the series. That would be absolutely phenomenal. Knicks beat the Cavs 106-95, so we've got Heat and Knicks on Sunday. Knicks favored by 4.5. They rolled the Cavs 4-1 in that series. So Kevin Love got out of the team that got eliminated in the first round and joined the team that went to the second round. Grizzlies defeated the Lakers last night 116-99. Ja had 31, 10, and 7. Desmond Bane, baby, had added 33. LeBron was not good yesterday. 5 of 17 with only 15 points. That is not good, but Lakers still lead 3-2. So they got another shot there. 2 more shots to eliminate the Grizz. Warriors win a road game, which they don't win much on the road. 123-116. They now lead the Kings 3-2 in this series. Steph had 31. He was 2 of 10 from three-point range. It's crazy. Clay 25, Wiggins 20. They get the win. Inter Miami and Miami FC play to a 1-1 tie. They go into overtime. They stay scoreless. They go to penalty shootout. And in the penalty shootout, Inter Miami wins 5-3. Dude, that 2-2, I'm sorry. Yes, 2-2. And what's it called? And in that game, because the second goal allowed by Inter was their own goal. And the dude from Miami FC just sailed one over the and that's what I told my wife. I go, somebody's going to lose this shootout by sailing one over, because that's what they get. And he tried to get too fancy.
Yeah, he strode up,
paint the corner. Bro,
sailed it.
Yeah. You don't have to do that. You can reach one end or the other normally, and you'll be fine, dude. But yeah. So they had 12,000 at the stadium yesterday.
No, it was a good crowd.
It's a hell of a crowd.
Good crowd there.
Hell of a crowd.
Details.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Why did I click on it and it disappeared here?
Okay.
Dove Kleiman. Am I saying that?
Yeah. Dov Kleiman. Yeah, he does NFL.
$185 million in guaranteed money for Lamar Jackson in his $260 million deal.
Isn't that 10 more than
Jalen Hurts got 179? So
179. I thought it was 175.
6 million more.
Okay. All right. There you go.
It doesn't go into breakdown anymore, but there you go. So it's 185 guaranteed money.
Yep. Wade carried the Heat to the playoffs his rookie year with little help. Yeah, he did. Hit that three-pointer from the corner against Charlotte, remember? When he was young. Bam had a great game yesterday, put up a triple-double, made key plays down the stretch defensively. I get on him when he's deserved, but I also got to give him credit. Yesterday he deserves credit. Yesterday he played like what he is, the super role player. Exactly. He's the guy that cleans up everything, the boards. He sets picks, assists, and then also what's it called, garbage points, putbacks, and things like that. He played his game yesterday. Like I said, it's the perfect nickname for him. He's not a star. He's a super role player. He's never going to be a star. Stars are guys you build your team around and they carry you. He's not one of those guys. He compliments you. He doesn't carry you. But he was fantastic yesterday. You got to give him a ton of credit. He was awesome. All right. Let's take a quick break. Hour number 3 from beautiful Hialeah Park is next. So here's the putting green. See? There you go. Got 2 flags. One was over there where Cutter's Edge Pro. It's not coming out now. Come on, wind. Give me a little wind. No, unfortunately. But there you go. And this one says Big O here. There you go. So there's my putting green. It's about, I would say about 25 feet, something like that. I get to practice, have a little fun. See? And then, of course, we got, the bunkers. Got to have the bunkers, man. Got all kinds of bunkers there. You know what I'm saying? So that's a taste of our backyard. There's Maiden right there. Maiden. Bono, how you doing, Bono? Bono. He's a Carolina dog, by the way. These dogs are amazing. Their temperaments are awesome. But there is the Sylvester Palm, which is just beautiful. All right, call my guys, Will and Mike at Cutter's Edge Pro. They will take care of you. Dogs are not included, okay? Can't include the dogs. Those are mine. But the exceptional work, oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes. Make your home an oasis. CuttersEdgePro.com. Go to their Instagram page, by the way, so you can see a lot of the before and after work that they do. And it is exceptional, baby. This thing's been on here for about 9 months. No grass growing through it or anything like that. Right, Bono? Huh? Bono!
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
There we are, hour number 3, live from beautiful Hialeah Park. And Steve Calabro is in the house. How you feeling, Stevie? You feeling good?
Big O, I'm doing good now.
Now.
When I first arrived a few minutes ago, I was a little bit, disappointed. I had to straighten out Sean and Big O.
Yeah. My wife says it all the time. She's constantly disappointed
they had
in me.
some hat on. They had the wrong hat, the wrong uniform. But I've since straightened it out. We have the, can you believe it? I can't believe that
I had my Jasmine hat on.
Which is a nice cryptocurrency. We get it. It's very, it's a positive thing. But Hialeah Park Poker, you're in the poker room, and show them the back of the hat. I mean, the back of the hat.
Kiss my ace, baby. Kiss my ace.
So now you and Sean are decorated a little nicer, looking a little better, looking a little dapper. Need to clean you guys up a little.
That's good. I like the hat too. It's always a good color. I want to get a background that's black and pink with the O logo and the Hialeah Park logo. We got to make that.
We can make it. I think we might have some step and repeats with the logo Hialeah Park.
But it doesn't have.
But let's get. Oh, not with Big O.
Exactly.
We got to get custom.
We got to make a pink and black one. Let's do that.
We have a marketing guru, Mike Golden.
KSDT did it too. They have one made in their offices when we go once a month.
Nice.
All
right, we'll get a customer.
Yeah.
No one's going to up us. KSDT is not going to up.
That's what I'm saying.
One up us.
But you know how
they're good.
By the way, black and pink. You know how cool that thing would look.
Very good. Very good. All right, that's an easy one. We could do that. That's easy. That's easy.
That's what I'm saying. I think it'd be really cool on there. But anyway, brother, what do you got going on today? Because today the place is packed. Like, we normally have a really good crowd, but like today it's a little bit more than normal.
Another monster high hand.
That's what I told him.
And we've gone crazy.
You were already crazy.
No,
we really had nothing to do with it.
So
your craziness rubbed off on them now, is what you're saying.
And it's heightened a little.
Oh.
It's heightened a little. All right.
Okay.
So what happened was we usually have this $4,000 an hour high hand.
Okay.
I'm here last week I announced see $1 million, win $1 million.
Right.
Downstairs for the slot floor.
Right.
That's starting. That's in August. That was for your viewers, a little bit of a preview. That really hasn't even really got out there into the public world yet. Except for your viewers.
Right.
Which I guess now it's in the public.
Yes. Kind of,
right? But this week I'm going to announce next Friday is Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
And the poker guys and myself have gone bonkers. 4,000 an hour is a big, big high hand.
Okay.
Like 2,000's nice. 3,000's nice. 4,000's not really ridiculously high. May 5th. 5,000 an hour high hand from 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That's going to be insane.
Yes.
That's one of the highest high hands I've ever seen offered.
Wow.
We're just going crazy. And we're going to have Cinco de Mayo specials all day. There's Corona specials. There's drink specials. It's Kentucky Derby weekend.
Oh, nice.
By the way, next Thursday, you'll be removing it. We have to talk to Frankie about it. He called. I had a chance.
Where are we going to be next Thursday? Champions.
Champions.
I love being a champion.
I want you to talk to our.
We always trip out at the emotions at Champions.
There are some screamers. There are some guys that that's
freaking awesome. I love.
You know what's great though? Like there's a guy sitting there quietly. He's got like 300 on the horse, and he's sitting there quietly, he's polite. And then there's a guy freaking out, jumping at the ceiling and going nuts, and he's got about like $9 on the horse. Right? So, but it's all relative.
Of course.
It's all relative because they're all having fun. They're all having fun.
Exactly.
So next week, $5,000 high hand on Friday. And then the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. It's going to be great, and all kinds of mint julep specials. That's the drink.
Yes.
Of the Kentucky Derby. That blah blah blah.
I hear it's incredibly overrated.
I've never. I don't know if I've officially
Everybody
ever
tells me it's really. They have it just to have it, but it's really not that good. The mint julep.
I don't know.
I've never had one. I've never. By the way, I'm dying to go to the damn Kentucky
Listen,
Derby.
I'm going to tell you something.
Dying to go to the Kentucky
next
Derby.
Thursday. I've never been to the Derby.
I gotta go.
I had an
once.
opportunity and I turned it down a couple.
Really?
Really, just a dumb mistake on my part.
Did your wife know about it?
Yeah,
because I'm wondering, like the wives probably like, oh, I would like to go because they get fancy and they get to wear the hats and all
the
that
whole
stuff.
9 yards. And I would have had a nice experience.
I would love to take the wife to the Derby. I think that would be like really cool.
It would have been a nice experience too because the guy who was inviting me. He had some.
He was connected.
It wasn't like we were sitting in like the
I got you.
nosebleeds or something. And it was pretty nice, but I didn't go. And I never had a mint julep. So next Thursday, maybe what? Oh, I won't be here next Thursday. I'm sorry.
You won't?
I will not be here.
You'll be out of town?
I'm going on vacation.
Okay. All right.
Going on a much needed sneak in a vacation type of thing.
Okay.
And but I'm going to tell Craig, he's our food and beverage guy. Can you make 2 mint juleps for Sean and Big O so they can at least have a test of a mint julep?
Yeah, I got to try it. I would like to try it at least.
I would love to have one with you there. So anyhow,
I'll save it for you.
$5,000 an hour. That's $1,200. Every 15 minutes, we're giving away $1,250.
That's awesome.
I mean, you got to be crazy not to.
Right. No, it's fantastic.
If you're here for $1,000 every
right.
15 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
$1,250. Do the math. Is $250 better.
Yeah.
25% better.
Yeah.
So
I like it. So if you're into poker, come on down, baby. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I got something for you.
Another car?
No, not another car. This is more of a
I
sports
wouldn't put it
thing.
past you guys.
This is a sports thing I just want to share with you. It's a sports thing.
It's a draft today.
It's not anything about the draft, which I hope goes well with our 54th best. What is our pick?
Tomorrow, 51.
51. Yeah, we should get
Brian Cox.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's gonna be a rough one, but hopefully we get a tight end to replace our all-star tight end that is no longer here.
I think it's almost an automatic.
I would think so. I would think. And
there's
the
so many tight ends in this draft.
Draft's heavy with
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think that's why they're doing it because they I think O lineman or a tight end are guaranteed in that second or third round. Maybe both, but I'm sure you're going to get a tackle or a tight end with that second or third round pick.
Yeah, I think they're going to go tight end first. Well, second round, but
I'm trying to brace the homers out there because they're all like, oh, they're trading up for Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, they're bringing in Dalvin Cook. And I just don't think either one of those is happening unless Dalvin gets completely released and he signs a really cheap contract here for $3-4 million. Then I can see Miami bringing him on board. But I just don't. I don't expect them to add a back. I expect them to add linemen. Linemen is what they need. That's to me the real.
Well,
necessity.
I think they need both. I really do.
Back? Well, yeah, I don't.
But a different type of back.
I mean, like their backs.
A bruiser back. I think you need a bruiser back, not a speedster.
You have a fullback.
Yeah, but I think you need like a Dalvin Cook or a Derrick Henry type of bruiser. Personally,
well, but Derrick Henry is not a bruiser.
Nah, he's pretty heavy.
Derrick Henry is a freaking sledgehammer. Like that guy
he's available.
That guy's a wrecking ball, is what he is.
He's amazing.
That's not,
I'm surprised he hasn't gotten hurt. I mean, he did get hurt. He did get hurt, but
but he's too big to get hurt.
He hurts people.
Yeah, he hurts people. Like LeBron now is breaking down because it's 20 years of wear and tear.
Yeah,
but like he would never break down because it's just too big, too strong.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal, like too big, too strong. Some of these guys are they're not human, bro.
Hey, I got some. No, I'm going to go a different direction.
Wilt Chamberlain, just not human.
No.
They're not human, bro. They're freaks, man.
Will Chamberlain was. But I have a totally different direction, different sport.
Jim Brown?
Recommendation.
Yes.
I'm going to give your viewers a recommendation. Maybe you've seen this show. It's a Netflix special.
Secession.
No. Facing Nolan.
Ryan?
Yeah. Really good show. Really good special on Netflix.
So, but wait a minute. Is this like... You remember when he kicked Robin Ventura's ass on the mound?
Well, they showed that. They didn't show the actual collision. They didn't show the collision.
They didn't show him like it with the bam,
No.
bam, bam.
No.
Robin.
They show Robin coming out and Ryan getting ready. Like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready,
Right.
dude. I'm not like a pansy,
No, I mean, have you ever been close to Nolan Ryan?
No.
That's a large human being.
It's a tall dude. Yeah, he's a big, tall dude, and he's bigger now too.
He's got thighs like a quarter horse.
It's a great special. I'm just giving this is just
where is it on?
Netflix.
Okay,
it's really good. Go Facing
Ryan.
Nolan.
Now, is it Nolan or is it other people talking about Nolan?
Both. Okay, so they got Nolan,
okay.
and this starts out like
because he's not really a guy that brags about himself much.
No, he's very, very low key.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There's another 24 guys that talk about him, like Randy Johnson, Bobby Valentine.
Right.
Guys that played with him. Most of his team. Jerry Grody. Jerry Grody's like, hey, I caught him. I caught all my life. He said, I can tell you he wasn't throwing 100 miles an hour. It was way faster. Okay? And all I was worried about is catching the ball.
Right.
Because I didn't really worry about that with other pitchers. With him, because he was a little wild with the Mets.
Yeah. Did they show his training?
So, they did. They did. He lifted weight. He was lifting weights at one point. And then he
did the rice barrel thing.
They didn't show that
because he would use a rice barrel. You know how stick your arm in and
Yeah.
It's
maybe they did show something like that.
Yeah,
maybe they did. Yeah,
he had some
some
things.
Weird thing.
Yeah, he had some things and that's why he was so strong.
Because he's a rancher.
Yeah,
He's
his lower base from his waist down. That's why he was such an effective pitcher for so long, because his lower half of his body was like a quarter horse.
So
it was, like a huge base, dude. He had legs that like thighs that were like this, bro.
Do you know that he had more strikeouts per 9 innings after he was 41 years old?
Yeah.
You know how many? So here's how the show starts out. It's very cool. There's this obscure player. I don't remember the guy's name. It's the first 20, 30 seconds of the show, right? And it's like, okay, we got Ryan facing this obscure guy. He's a lifetime 228 hitter, And then the announcer says, why would you show Nolan Ryan facing a 228 lifetime hitter? He goes, I'll tell you why. There's 5,714 reasons. That was the final strikeout. That was his final strikeout.
Right.
Then they interviewed a guy, and the guy's like, hey, I'm in the record books.
What, 7 no-hitters, right?
I
7?
I thought he had 5.
Was it 5?
I thought it was 5.
Why did I think it was
5?
Look it up. Look it up,
wrong.
Sean. How many no-hitters Ryan had? I thought it was 7.
Well, he had 5 by his early 40s. By like 42 years old, 43 years old, he had 5. I don't know what happened.
It was ridiculous.
But anyhow, just for your viewers, just give him. Look, we give him good high hands.
Yeah.
We get
7.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. Once in a while, I get
I
it.
missed something there.
Yeah. No, I remember watching him, following his career.
He was just amazing.
He's a freak, man.
Yeah, just really. Freak. And I was a Met fan, back then.
And he was on a lot of bad teams.
So he was on the Mets, but he won.
The Angels weren't good.
No, the Angels. That was weird. Houston, but Houston, he made good.
Houston. He had some Lima. He had a bunch of guys on that team. Lopez. He had some players on that Houston team.
But they weren't good until they got him.
Yeah, J.R. Richard was the other pitcher that was there.
Yeah.
Poor guy had some drug issues and all that, but J.R. Richard was special. It's one of my favorite jerseys of all time. The Astros with all the colors.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my
the
favorite
dome,
jerseys.
Dude. So correct me if I'm wrong. I think they knocked the Astrodome down or something.
No, it's still there.
Don't know what to do with it or something.
I think it's still there, isn't it? I want to say it's still there, sitting next to Reliant Field.
But if it's sitting there, they don't know what to do with it, right?
Right. Yeah. And by the way, it dwarfs the Astrodome,
the new stadium. Yeah, but so
remember us growing up? It was like
8th one.
Huh?
It was partially demolished in 2013.
Okay. Because I thought I saw a screenshot of it, and it's like was next to it still, and it was like showing, or maybe it was an older picture, but it was. But when we were young,
Eighth wonder of
the
world.
Exactly.
But
You know, I went to
knock that down.
I went to it when I was a kid.
Oh, I never been.
I stayed. My buddy had his dad used to live in Houston, so we stayed a summer there.
Oh, nice.
And we went down to Houston, and Astro World was right next to it, which was an amusement park. It had the Texas Hurricane, I think it was the name of the Texas Tornado or something was the name of the wooden roller coaster they had there. And when you walked into that dome in those days, the Astrodome, you were like, wow, dude, this thing is amazing. And nowadays it's nothing, bro.
Yeah, I mean the Dallas Cowboy Stadium is like puts it to shame. You know?
Yeah, that's garbage next to the Cowboy Stadium. That Cowboy Stadium is just amazing. Like you could get the Astrodome and put it inside Reliance Stadium with no problem.
But it was the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah,
it was the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah,
and he did make, but great pitcher. You know, the whole. I just thought he was great. You know, he almost gave up baseball. So he's with the Mets. Oh, they show it. Like he meets. They show his wife, and she's early in the. She's been with him. She met him in fourth grade, and she, they get married when they're 19, and the scout tells
that pitching staff for the Mets is just stupid.
They were so loaded. I mean, they were just so
stupid.
loaded. It was. I had a friend of mine, Big O. Someday he should call in. He's a good friend. He was on the AAA Mets team, Tidewater.
Okay.
He was a lefty, Jeff Gross.
Okay.
And he couldn't break into that pitching staff. Here's a guy that was really, really good. Was from my hometown. Played AAA for a couple of years.
But you're pretty good if you get to AAA, bro.
You're not going to beat out Tom Seaver.
Oh.
You're not really beating out
Nolan
Ryan. You're not beating. Well, Nolan Ryan was number 4.
Yeah.
Gary Gentry.
Right.
And
they were loaded.
Who was the 4th? John Matlack?
I forgot now.
Tom Seaver. It might have been John Matlack.
Maybe.
Right. So you're not going to beat those guys.
Right.
Right. And then he's trying to break into the. I mean, and then they show. Ryan has this one game. So it's just so I was a kid.
And middle relief wasn't the same in those days.
No. So he's a middle reliever, right? Because he can't break into the starting
right,
rotation.
but there weren't that many middle relievers. It wasn't
right.
like nowadays what Tony La Russa did to baseball.
Oh, the whole pitch count thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ! He specialized the whole thing, and it changed the game.
Well, they talked to Ryan. They said when he went to Texans, now he's like over 41. He says, "Well, we're thinking about keeping you to 100 pitch count." And then they go to real life to Nolan Ryan, and he just starts laughing. He goes,
right, yeah.
"They're gonna take me out."
Right, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So they're at this game. They show.
And by the way, he did the opposite when he took over for the Texas Rangers. That he wanted to build up their arms, and they kind of fought it. And by the way, didn't they get to the World Series when he was there? Not playing, managing it, coaching it, or whatever. Or they got close, right? Or something like that. And, their pitching has never even gotten close to where he was trying to build it back up again.
I'll give you this one little tidbit from the show. So they're interviewing Bobby Valentine, who's coaching the Texas Rangers, I guess, at the time. And there's a pitching coach. And they have this 100 pitch count thing. It's the first time the pitch count comes in. They ruined baseball. I mean, completely ruined baseball, right? And so they show footage, and Valentine's in the dugout, and he kind of leans over, talks to the pitching coach. Pitching coach runs out to talk to Ryan, and Ryan. So the coach says, now they go to the coach. They say, "Well, coach, what did Nolan Ryan say to you?" He goes, "Well, when I got out there, he said, 'Don't you,' and I'll just beep beep. Right. 'Don't you effing even think about taking me out.'" So then the pitching coach runs back to the dugout. And Bobby Valentine said, "Well, what did he say?" He goes, "Well, Bobby, you don't want to know what he said, but let's keep him in." He was just a baller in terms of course, playing. I mean, pitching 9 innings, 11 innings.
Come on, man. You take them out when they don't have anything anymore.
Oh, you know where I got.
That's how you take pitchers out. Okay, if they're hitting them, or if they've lost their stuff, if they got no more break on their ball, whatever it is, when they lose it, it might be pitch 50 or it might be pitch 125.
Yeah, whatever hell. Then you take him out, not just
take him out.
some arbitrary number that some doctor says. But anyhow,
You're right.
What? What was I right?
When he became the owner of the Rangers, experienced a revival. They won the pennant in 2010 and followed up with a second.
So they won the pennant.
Yeah.
Second consecutive trip to the World Series.
So he knows how to play the game. He kind of knows the game pretty well.
Nolan had him headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then they derailed it in shit. You know what I mean? It's to me, but you know what, man? It's just old school doesn't fly all the time.
Well,
It's a problem.
It doesn't fly with the new school kind of guys. You know, that they're like, oh, I don't want to do that because my last 5 coaches said I only can pitch 70 pitches and blah blah blah. But I get it. But we'll we that's just a little tidbit for your viewers.
Okay, good stuff.
Little something
I may watch it this weekend.
It's
definitely
worth it. I mean, if you're a sports fan, what the heck?
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's
good.
Yeah, it's a nice little show.
Yeah, and hell, I don't got much to watch tomorrow night. Actually, maybe I'll watch it tomorrow night because tonight I got the Panthers. The Heat are off till Sunday.
Oh yeah.
What do we have Friday? Oh no, the Panthers are tomorrow. That's right.
Oh, the draft.
Oh, we have the draft.
Come on.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about the draft.
Let me tell you something.
No, but we're working it. We're working.
Watching the draft. Come on. I mean, it's.
I love the draft. I'm a
I just want to
sicko.
see the highlights. I want to see.
No, that's not me.
No, come on.
Yeah, no, I'm a sicko.
No, they made it like a show now.
Yeah, and I'm in every second of it.
I just
the only reason tonight is boring for me is that my team doesn't have.
Yeah, you're not going to be in it. We're not going to be in it, right?
We don't have a chip. We don't have a chip in the game, and so that of course they're going to trade up for Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes. What's it called? So that's the only thing that I hate about tonight, that my team doesn't have something in it. But tomorrow I'm all in. Oh God, I'm all in. Tomorrow I'm all in. I'm all in on the drama.
Right, so well, before I leave, I just want to ask you. So where do you think the key quarterbacks are going? You know, the
top of the draft.
So who's going? So who do you think Carolina's taking? Because they're being a little coy about it.
I think they're taking the Alabama kid,
Bryce.
Yes,
they're taking Bryce. Okay, so I think you're right there, right? I mean, that's. And then who gets Tony Richardson? A little bit of a project guy,
right?
You know, the quarterback from University of Florida, right? A little bit of a project.
Oh, Anthony Richardson, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it is Tony.
Well, in New Jersey,
you are correct. You are correct.
No, I mean that's just the New Jersey Italian thing that every Anthony is a Tony. You know what I mean, except for their mother calls him Anthony. That's about it.
What were you going to say?
Somebody had a mock draft and they had the Colts begging Andrew Luck to come back.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense.
I probably could play pretty well.
I personally would take Stroud second. I am not a big believer of Will Levis like everybody else.
Yeah, the Kentucky kid, right?
Yeah. And Anthony Richardson does not convince me at all because he's a great athlete.
Very good athletic skills.
I don't see a quarterback there yet. And so now you're getting somebody, he might become a hell of a player because he's super gifted, but I don't know if he can become a great quarterback. You know, athletes will wow you, but being a quarterback is a whole different ball game. And I'm not sure that Anthony Richardson can be that because I've watched him at Florida and it was erratic at times.
He's 6-6 this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like he's a winner. You know, he knows how to win the game or something like that. But I'm sure he's a phenomenal athlete. I mean, you see him, he's jumping, like vertical jump is unbelievable. And his broad jump
I would take Stroud second and then.
No, but who has the second pick?
Vegas.
Yeah, but Vegas ain't going to take Stroud.
No, Indianapolis. I'm sorry. Indianapolis.
So, but Indianapolis is going to take Bryce.
No. Carolina takes Bryce. Carolina's one.
Oh, wow.
Colts are two.
So the Colts are going to end up with Stroud. See,
I don't know, but I would take Stroud.
Yeah.
If I would take Stroud at 1. Okay.
Oh, really? You'd take Stroud over to Alabama?
Over Bryce Young, yes, I would.
But you think the Panthers are taking Alabama?
I don't know what they're taking. But,
he's
the word the Panthers are taking is Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Okay, that because people are thinking that he's the better quarterback out of the whole thing. I like Stroud. I like his accuracy, so I would take him at number 2. And then if I'm Vegas, that's when I'm going position,
and I'm going Will Anderson or Jalen Carter or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm
So then where does
I'm certainly not taking Will Levis at number 3.
Where does Will
and
Levis
I'm not
go?
taking Anthony Richardson.
No, not Richardson's going to be could be a second rounder at that.
Yeah,
late
but
first.
somebody's going to reach for Richardson. It'll be Houston at number 4, or somebody like dude, they're going to do it. Somebody's going to do it. Atlanta number 8. You know, somebody's going to end up taking him for sure.
Staying with the quarterback,
Tennessee could take him. Although Tennessee went with the athlete again last year in Malik, and they gave up on him right away. So you're going to go with another athlete again?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So staying with the quarterback thing.
Yes.
So Lamar Jackson, I guess he's going to play for the Ravens?
Yeah, he just got the deal.
He did get the deal.
He just got the deal done now.
What was the number?
185 overall.
Okay.
No, right, 260 overall.
5 year?
And then they say 180 guaranteed.
185 guaranteed, 265 year.
$6 million more guaranteed than Jalen Hurts got.
And $5 million more overall.
Overall, yes.
Yeah, the 255 is well. So
Right.
we got the highest price quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
So how could he turn it down?
And he saved between 2.3 and 7.8 million being his own agent.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He did save some money
he
being
picked
his
up
own
$3
agent.
million there.
Yeah.
Well, but he pissed that away last year.
Yeah.
I mean, last year he should have got paid more than $29 million, right? So Lamar's set. Now, what's your opinion about? Just give me the record. I know you do a lot of
the Ravens.
No, the Jets with the guy that we all
love
to hate.
I think they'll be 9-8.
They'll be 9-8, and the Dolphins will be 11.
12-5 or 13-4.
Ooh, 13-4 is aggressive.
Yeah, they're going to be really good this year.
So where's Buffalo?
About 11-6. Miami wins the division. Buffalo is second. Jets are third.
And you think they're going to get 9 wins out of
Patriots will be lucky to win 4 games this year.
Yeah, you see, they're talking about Will Levis.
Good.
God bless him, right? I mean,
they got lucky one time. They'll never get lucky again.
Well, not in modern time.
They got lucky one time. That guy ain't never going to hit another quarterback again.
So I'm going to end it with this. Just loving the quarterback. And I hate to say this because don't say I'm wishing it. You're all of a sudden you're going to be typing in, tell that guy to go away because he's saying it. But God forbid that Tua has an injury. Mike Smith isn't necessarily the long-term.
Season's over.
Okay.
Same thing I said last year. Tua's out. Season's over.
But let's say he's got Tua's out. Let's say God forbid he's out, right?
Are you trying the Tom Brady thing now? Are they going to go call Tom Brady?
Come on. I mean, do you think that's a possibility?
I don't even want to talk about that.
Why not?
Because I want Tua to be healthy.
Okay, all right. I respect that.
I'm not thinking negatively, bro. You sound like that friend of mine that told me when I'm getting married, hey, so what if you get a divorce? I'm like, bro, what am I getting married for? I'm like, I'm not thinking about divorce. Here I am. I'm 29 years late. 29 years later, I'm married to the same woman. I wasn't thinking.
That's very, very good.
And I wasn't
admirable.
but it's like you don't.
She must be a saint.
But definitely she's a saint. It certainly isn't me. But my point is, you don't do something thinking of failure.
No, I know, but they're writing it all.
Did you take this job? I'll be the casino manager here at Hialeah. Maybe we'll go broke.
If we go broke, we'll call Tom Brady.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You don't think about that. We start this platform. I'm not thinking of failing, bro. I'm thinking of kicking some ass. 19 million downloads last year. We kicked some ass.
I just told somebody. It was 19. I told him it was 20 million.
Well, yeah, it was 19 something. Yeah,
19 million
audio
in 1
downloads.
year.
Audio downloads. Yes, audio, not even video. Video was on top of that. Audio only.
So they actually audio. Okay.
So we had 20-something.
What, they don't want to see your face? You got a radio face?
No. The views were there too. I don't know how many video.
How many
downloads? Views do we have around? Give me just a ballpark figure.
But he does have a radio face.
I have a total face for radio. Total face for radio.
I should be talking. I got a radio nose.
I don't remember. Was it 6, 7, 8 million or something views?
Yeah.
At least that.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's very good.
Yeah,
that's exceptional.
We did all right.
So you got a radio face. I got a radio nose.
Yeah.
failing, it's going through the process.
Right, it's not failing; it's going through the process, like Giannis would say.
Anyhow,
yes.
I better get out of here before I start bringing up anything else. I haven't really mentioned the things that I did mention tight end, but I didn't mention the
No, don't worry
person
about it. We'll talk about that next week when they have one.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
He went to Southern Regional High School, big football school, and I. It's my best friend. He's my best
Dougie
friend.
Fresh says, Steve, I might get you a coupon for a darkness retreat so you can heal up.
Oh, listen, I'll change my whole way. Do you believe that bullshit? Please. I want to ask Dougie if he believes it, that supposedly Aaron Rodgers was going to retire, 90% going to retire, but somehow in the darkness, he discovered the Jets. Come on. I mean, I was born in the morning, but I wasn't born yesterday morning. Are you kidding me?
He thinks we're all space cadets like him.
He's a nut job. He's
What's
a nut job. There's no way.
I don't think it's going to be as smooth as people think over there, but we'll see.
We'll see. I think he's a trouble. I think he's a problem child. But anyhow, I better get out of here. $5,000
yes, sir.
Per hour high hand next Friday. Cinco de Mayo specials.
Take advantage.
All over the place. We have food specials. We have your mint juleps that you someday will learn to love.
I don't know about learn to love, but I'll try it next Thursday. I'll probably have a real shit face when I try it.
The Preakness drink, right? The Black-Eyed Susan.
I had no idea.
The Black-Eyed
I didn't know they had their own drink.
They have their own drink.
I've only heard of the one for the Kentucky
The Black-Eyed Susan.
Isn't there something else that they do at the Masters? Isn't there something also that's not very good that they do at the Masters? That's what it is. The pimento cheese sandwich.
Pimento cheese.
Yeah, I heard it was like not that good.
Yeah, but now so at the Masters that was $1.50, but under the Biden administration it's $4.50. Don't worry, it's just going up a little bit of inflation. So sorry about that. Should not have injected that.
Well,
all right, guys.
Taxes are their thing, bro. What are you gonna do?
Take care. Adios.
That's why he brought 80,000 IRS agents. What do you think?
87.
87. Yeah, exactly. Jesus. Anyway, we'll see. I'm rooting for the Republicans to win on that negotiation. Get rid of all those IRS agents. Like, yo, dude, come on, bro. You just want to torture Americans. You're already killing our dollar already as it is. Man. Anyway, as I say, get Bitcoin. That's all I can tell you. All right, baby. Be good, Steve. Thank you. Oh, man. What can I tell you? What do we got going on? By the way, what happened with the Marlins today? Did they lose again? They started? Oh, it got delayed? I didn't know that because I know they were playing at 12:20. So I was wondering because that game would have been over already. So they're playing. How can it get delayed? Oh, they're on the road. My bad. I'm like, whoa, delayed here. I'm going, they have a roof. I'm thinking, but I forgot. What is it? 4-1 Braves. We have nothing against the Braves, bro. Like the Braves and the Mets, like nothing. Oh, God. Let's see. Dougie Fresh says, I'm on a darkness retreat now. Oh, I'm just day drinking. Anyway, the Dolphins can draft Jimmy Butler tonight. He would make a good tight end. With those clamp hands of his, he would make a good tight end. Got to give him credit in that sense. He would definitely make. So does Chase Young get traded today? Sack of injuries for Washington. D-Hop, does he get traded for Arizona? Dalvin Cook. Will somebody make a move for Dalvin Cook? Austin Eckler. Another guy that the Chargers could make a move because he can't find a contract and he wants one. And then Trey Lance. These are all the kind of players people have been talking about that could end up making a move. I don't think any of them will end up in the Miami Dolphins, including Dalvin Cook, unless Dalvin Cook gets outright released and wants to take a low contract here in Miami. Don't expect Dalvin Cook to be a Miami Dolphins. That's all I can tell you. Aaron Rodgers will wear number 8, not number 12. And I got to tell you something. While I don't necessarily think this thing is going to be that successful as people, I'm sure Jets fans are hoping for,
And I think he's going to have some of his struggles. And I don't worry about the Jets, not when you have X, not when you have Jalen Ramsey and Javon Holland. I am not worried about Aaron Rodgers or the Jets' weapons whatsoever, to be quite honest. I don't fear them at all. So it's not something that I'm worried about. But I'll tell you something that I respect that Aaron Rodgers did yesterday. Joe Namath said, "You can unretire my number. He can take it." Classy move by Broadway Joe. But Aaron Rodgers says, "No, man, I'm not doing any of that. Number 12 belongs to Broadway Joe." And I like that because I don't believe when there are people that have set their own, reputation and their own mark in a franchise. I don't believe that history should be shared. I think it should be kept there where it is. And Joe should have that mark that he owns with the Jets being the number one player of all time in that organization. Obviously, with the prediction and the championship and the way he came to the Jets, how he picked the AFL over the NFL, how they gave him a $400,000 signing bonus in those days. And by the way, he also asked for a Cadillac because the negotiations got all the way crazy to $400,000. Right? It surpassed what they gave Billy Cannon. It surpassed several players, and then they gave him that money. But he got to the negotiations, Joe himself, and said, "Well, wait a minute, I need something else." And that's when the owner was like, "Well, wait a minute, what more do you need?" He goes, "No, I want a Cadillac." So, a Lincoln. That's what it was, a Lincoln with the suicide doors. That's, I think, what it was that he wanted, and I think that's what he got, either the Cadillac or the Lincoln with suicide doors. I forgot now the story. I'm trying to remember, but anyway. He didn't want any part of it. And I think that's what a player should do. If you're going to a franchise and your number happens to be taken by a former great of that franchise, I've seen it before where somebody's allowed to wear the number. Haven't they allowed 88 to be used by multiple people with the Dallas Cowboys, if I'm correct? Pearson, Michael Irving, and now somebody else has got it, right? I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. Okay? Not a fan of that. I think I want to say it's number 88 was used by Drew Pearson, then by Michael Irving, two great receivers. And then is it the Oklahoma kid that has 88? I'm not exactly sure. I might be wrong. Huh? CeeDee Lamb. I am right. The Oklahoma kid. So I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that at all. And I'm glad that he said, "No, man, I'm not using 12. I'm going to go back to my college number 8. And if he does have success there, if he does, win a championship, if he does make his mark with the Jets," and he talked about it. He's very well aware of how he would go down in history if he takes the Jets and wins a Super Bowl. He would own New York forever. They would love his ass forever like they love Joe Namath forever. Those are the kind of towns that if you win that, it's like Wade here, always going to be beloved. And he knows it. He knows that can build on his legacy. But the cool thing, not that he's going to do it, but if he does have that and he makes his mark, he gets to do it with the number 8. And then that will be its own history with the New York Jets. I think that's pretty cool. Give him props for that. Big O, how much of a factor does Tom Thibodeau's knowledge of Jimmy Butler play a factor in the series coming up? None. Zero. It's up to the will of the players that he's coaching. And last time I checked, Eric Spoelstra is better than Tom Thibodeau. Eric Spoelstra runs circles around Tom Thibodeau, like he did yesterday with Budenholzer. So I can't be worried about Tom Thibodeau when I have Eric Spoelstra. Whatever he can think about, Spoelstra thought about it. And like in chess, any of you out there play chess? Chess is not a game that you play play by play. No. You must be 4 moves ahead of the person that you're playing. You must foresee what's going on in order to win in that game. Well, that's Eric Spoelstra. He's playing chess. Tom Thibodeau is a checkers player. Okay. I'm not worried about any of that. That is not even a concern, to be quite honest. Yes, Sean Stanley.
A couple of Phoenix reporters are saying that NFL teams have been informed that the Arizona Cardinals are finalizing a trade down from pick number 3.
Okay, so they don't want the quarterback.
Doesn't look like it.
Right, because they don't need it.
Yep.
Because they're stuck with Murray.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the position player they're going to get there, they figure they can get a guy. And let me see. Did they say who they're working a deal with?
It didn't say. Somebody was saying Raiders, but you were saying Raiders are second, right? Or no?
Yeah, the Raiders are number 3.
The Raiders are 3?
Yeah.
So then the trade already happened? Because Phoenix was supposedly trading down from pick 3.
Oh, no, it already happened. Vegas is at 3 and Arizona's at 7.
Oh, okay. So then that must have been I guess it's got sent out. Oh, it was 37 minutes ago. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
must have
so the
just
trade already happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because they already updated it here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because in the comments they're saying the Raiders need to get a quarterback. So.
Right, that makes sense. And they'll get, wow, they win. Let me tell you something. If Houston is stupid enough to take Will Levis and Vegas gets Stroud, they end up getting the best quarterback out of the group, I think. That's just me. I may be completely wrong here. Maybe he is the third best. But out of Stroud, Young, and Levis, I would take Stroud. That's just me. I kind of like that kid. Let's see. Oh, Rodgers would own half the town if he wins it all. Yeah. Yes. You are correct, my man. You are correct. That is the proper math. Namath needs his number retired for being a player. I read a Playboy article where he estimated 300 sexual partners in college. He did well with the ladies. Yep. He did well with the ladies. Big old multi-year contracts back in the 60s, 70s would barely be pocket change now to players signing. I know, right? It would be a joke. Contracts in the 60s and the 70s are per diems nowadays. That's what they are. They're per diems.
The Marlins have got it to 4-3, runners on first and third.
Oh, look out.
And Jazz Chisholm just stole the base, which was open. So now second and third. 2 outs.
Okay. I like it. What do we got going on in crypto? And so let's get to the really important stuff going on right now. Bitcoin is up to 29,638. It's up 4%. So looking to bust through 30 again. I think it's going to hit 31 in the next 48 hours. I think we're going over 31 in the next 48 hours. I think it's ready to pop. It's ready to make that move. I like it. My boys at Jasmy are up nearly 6%. They're at 65. Went down a little bit from 66. Avalanche is up 5%. Decentraland's up over 3%. ApeCoin's up over 5%. What else do we have going on? Immutable X. I'm a huge Immutable X guy. Up 13%. Immutable X is awesome. It is going to be a monster, dude. Absolute monster. Yes, sir.
The South Florida whatever celebration continues.
Uh-oh.
The Marlins have taken the lead 5-4.
What inning are we in?
Top of the 9th.
Okay.
Garrett Cooper just doubled in, and Jazz Chisholm and somebody else came home.
All right. I like it. Big O, I really hope the Finns trade back and get more picks. I think that's the smart move. They're not trading up. So that's the only option, I think, is trading back. Look, guys and ladies out there, I don't expect Dalvin Cook to become a Dolphin unless he wants to, sign for real cheap and a free agent. I don't expect him to trade up for Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't expect him to trade into the first round. I don't expect any of that. If any of it happens today during the draft, that's why we're not doing a show, because I don't think anything's going to happen. If anything happens, I will chime in. So make sure you've got the notification bell hit. Please make sure you have hit the like button here. And whenever you're listening to the podcast at any time, day or night, please make sure you are also hitting the like button. It is very, very important. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. You can also make a Bitcoin donation, like Isais made a Bitcoin donation today, which, thank you, sir. Musa Hamadeh sends in a super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, Knicks fans keep talking about regular season, how they beat us 3-1. If regular season matters, Bucks would have swept us. Jimmy the Grim Reaper is here. Yeah, exactly. Regular season means nothing. And by the way, Miami beat them once, and they beat them once, and then they also lost twice to them by 2 points. So it wasn't like these are dominating games or anything like that. I'm not worried about Miami can win and lose this series, but it's not like a gimme that they're going to lose or anything, and I would not be shocked if Miami beats the Knicks. I am shocked they beat the Bucks. I'll be shocked if they can beat the Celtics. I'm not going to be shocked if they beat the Knicks. They're a nice team, but, the best player on the court is still Jimmy Butler. The best coach on the floor is still Eric Spoelstra by miles. So they've got the best player and the best coach in the matchup. I'm going to lean to that right there and then. Okay? And they should be playing with a little confidence too, on top of all of that. Not really worried about the Knicks, but listen, remember, New York fans are, naturally, pesado, obnoxious. And you give them a little bit of success, and then they just become insoportable. Okay? So that's kind of what it is. That's all. Denardo Joseph is still at work, but chiming in. You are a corporate time-stealing weasel, and we love you for that. There's nothing wrong with that. The smart people in the world are corporate time-stealing weasels. All right. Okay, I think we are done. We appreciate it out there. You got some news? Wait a minute, you got news. Jamie Foxx, is he released? What do you got? What do you got? Oh, I know everything about Jimmy.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you know what happened.
Oh, yeah, dude. He freaked out at the set. He had a stroke.
Yeah, he had a stroke and they had to revive him at set.
They what's it called? Jamie even fired his driver that day. He fired a bunch of people. He was really unhappy with how things were going on the set.
Jeez.
And he stressed out completely and was ripping people. And then he ended up having a stroke because of the stress. And then they had to revive him. He's been in the hospital ever since. But we just don't know how serious it is, overall. But it's damn serious if you're still in the hospital, because as you know, I don't have to tell any of you out there, hospitals will kick your ass out as soon as possible. They don't want you in that building very long. Okay? So if you're stuck in that building for a while, there must be something pretty serious. So our prayers are definitely out there with Jamie Foxx. Hopefully everything will work out for him. But yeah, I heard about it, and it's kind of a tough story, man.
Saying he's responsive to everything now.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So, you just hope that it doesn't affect him. You know what I mean? That he's able to overcome it and move on, and everything is back to normal again. But yeah, stress is a bitch, man. Stress is a bitch on all of us, and it's not easy. And just because you're rich and famous, like Jamie, I was talking with a buddy of mine about this 2 days ago, and he was like, dude, why is he stressing so much? And I go, because, dude, when you want to be great at something, it doesn't matter how much money you made. You still want to be great. You still want to keep playing. You still want to keep performing. You still want to keep singing. You still want to keep working, whatever. If you're an engineer and you've made your money, but you're 75 years old, are you not going to design the next building with the same kind of zest? Of course you are. You're going to want to be great at it. You're going to be great if you're a baseball player or a football player, or you're a salesman, you're an artist, whatever it is. In fact, Aaron Rodgers, in his press conference, he said the fun part about getting older is proving to people that you can still do it. And that's kind of the trick in all of it. And so just because, I was telling my buddy, just because Jamie Foxx is famous and rich doesn't mean he doesn't demand excellence. It's his name that's on it. So if he's doing something that's in a comedic form or drama or performing or directing, I'm sure Jamie Foxx wants to kick serious ass in whatever he's doing. So what comes with that? Stress. So the poor man was on the set and a whole bunch of stuff wasn't going his way. What's he going to do? I'm Jamie Foxx. I made my money already. If this movie sucks, who cares? No, dude, he's got pride. He wants to do things the right way. And to me, that's any of you are like that. A bunch of you that care and have pride in what you do. The day you want to mail it in, then don't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for you to do it because your heart's not in it. Clearly, his heart is in it, and it stressed him out. Why is Ray Sosa texting so much? Does he know that I'm not big on like dominating the board and trying to, got to slow down there, Ray. Make a comment and move on, bro. No one needs to hear from you 77 times. That's kind of freaking annoying. And it gets you blocked here. So you've been warned. Joe's $427,000 signing bonus in 65 would be worth $1,729 today. Jamie Foxx is a method actor. He had the stroke for his next role. Well, he had a stroke because he wasn't happy with a lot of shit that was going on, apparently. So, Sean, I'm going to Micromania tomorrow. I'll have pictures, says Boss B. Is that like short people wrestling? Okay. All right. We are out of here, folks. We thank Steve Calabro, Frank Fiore, who's an absolute freaking stud, as always. Mr. John Brunetti Jr., as always, thank you, sir, and the family for supporting our platform every single day. We appreciate that immensely. We thank all the people out here at Hialeah Park, always making it nice and easy for us. Sean Stanley, the man that masters this platform every single day. Remember, you can catch us tonight. If something happens with the Dolphins, we will chime in. If nothing happens, which I don't think anything's going to happen, we'll see you tomorrow morning, live from Acura. And by the way, what happened to that dude with the money? Where is he? He didn't show up. So you got 3 more hours to go. And we'll see if you show up tomorrow. 1K. Bring it. Bring it. Back it up. We'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. We'll see you same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.